On repealing Obamacare. Fox's Jared Halpern live on Capitol Hill.
And the Senate continuing debate and votes on competing repeal and replace measures. A repeal-only amendment is about to be defeated. It's backed by Kentucky Republican Rand Paul and would set up a 2-year window for a replacement.
If you repeal it, even the other side will say, oh, my goodness, we have to do something because they repealed these subsidies and this Medicaid expansion.
And that effort is not expected to be successful. Should it fail, there's talk among Republicans of what's being called a skinny repeal, scrapping the health care law's individual and employer mandates and repealing the tax on some medical equipment. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. The White House calls the president's decision to ban transgenders from the military a difficult one, but one he feels is best for the military.
Consultation that he's had with his national security team came to the conclusion that it erodes military readiness and unit cohesion, and made the decision based on that.
Spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders also saying it's not meant as anything more than a military decision. Some members of Congress on both sides of the aisle criticizing it, along with the LGBT community. The president serenaded moments ago by members of the American Legion's Boys and Girls Nation groups.
You were chosen for this program because you believe in America's future and because you have the ambition and the heart to ensure that America will always be victorious.
He also made reference again to election night, despite being criticized for the political tone of a recent Boy Scouts event. An hour from now, the president has a jobs announcement scheduled. There have been reports that the Taiwan-based company that assembles iPhones is planning a new factory in Wisconsin. At the closing bell, the Dow up 96 points. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. That you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance. So you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Dana Lash with NRA Carry Guard. I carry my firearm every day. I pray I'll never be forced to use it. But if I do, I know NRA Carry Guard will have my back. I can choose up to $1 million in insurance-backed protection, plus a special attorney referral network to give me the representation I need. Learn more and sign up today at nracarry.com or call 1-866-NRA-1234 to become an NRA Carry Guard member today.
The IRS agrees to new guidelines in a long-running fight over whether a Tea Party group is a legitimate nonprofit.
The new agreement does not guarantee that the IRS will actually approve an application for nonprofit status from the Texas Patriots Tea Party. The Washington Times reports the group must still answer questions about political candidates and other speakers at its events. But the IRS has agreed that the words Tea Party will not factor into its final decision. A number of Tea Party groups have alleged that the IRS targeted their nonprofit applications for extra scrutiny during the Obama administration. In Washington, Molly Nee Wilkes, Fox News.
For nearly 2 decades, Adobe Flash has been widely used by computer programmers and web developers, creating everything from web animation to apps. But Adobe now plans to phase out Flash by the year 2020, in part because of progress with alternatives that aren't commercially controlled. Flash also has had security issues over the years exploited by hackers before Adobe could patch them. A 40-year quest to visit every Cracker Barrel in the U.S. is nearing an end for a couple from Indiana.
Ray and Wilma Yoder, both of whom are 80, decided to visit Cracker Barrels as Ray fulfilled his duties delivering recreational vehicles for coachmen all across the nation. There are 645 Cracker Barrel restaurants in the United States. The Yoders have visited 644 of them. The last one they'll visit is in Tualatin, Oregon, just outside of Portland.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten. The Yoders say it all started as a way to relieve boredom on the road and that they chose this chain for its down-home friendly atmosphere. Recapping Wall Street, more new records for the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. The Dow finishing up 97 points at 21,711, and oil topping $48 a barrel, hitting a nearly 2-month high. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, chance of thunderstorms, low of 73. Thursday, thunderstorms continue, high 81, low of 66. Friday clears up, mostly sunny, high 82, a low of 56. Right now, 88 degrees, mostly cloudy, feels like 103 in Champaign-Urbana.
Now 2-2 here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Leading it off is Harrison Bader. And the pitch is a line drive into the left field corner. He's going to get a couple. He's around first, digs for second. There's his first big league hit, and it could be a game winner. Jerko digs back in. McGee looks in for the sign. Has the one he wants. Comes set. Here's the 1-2 offering. Swinging a high pop-up into shallow right. The tag is made, the catch is made, and here comes the runner. He is safe at the plate, and the Cardinals win it. The catcher couldn't handle the play. The Redbirds win it on a walk-off sacrifice fly by the pinch hitter, Jed Jerko. And Harrison Bader, in his major league debut, scores the winning run.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You just want to contribute when you get up here. You want to try and keep it slow, so just got to pitch the handle, and those guys picked me up in there, so it's a great win for sure.
All right, highlights courtesy of the Cardinals Radio Network. You heard from Harrison Bader, the Rook. Scored the game-winning run last night. He did not homer.
No.
He did not homer.
We set pretty ambitious over-under home runs at 1.5.
Hit the ball hard to short, almost beat it out. That was the first exciting thing you saw from Harrison Bader. Really cool. I've got a beef with Mike Shannon. We'll get to that in a minute. I think he and Hawk both had collectively horrible days.
Interesting days. Right. We will play that Hawk for you later today.
They were just bad yesterday, but interesting, good stuff last night. It's one of those when every baseball team during a season has a handful of games that are memorable, and some seasons you have more than that, right? Obviously, there's tons of them for Cubs fans.
For White Sox, that's not true.
No, that's true. Minus the Sox and the Padres, for the most part, every baseball team has memorable nights. But, the Cardinals have had these over and over, and this year there's been 6 kids, I think, come up and really contribute to the St. Louis Cardinals.
It was either last night or the night before, the Cardinals had a lineup that was all homegrown talent.
Isn't that unreal?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
Yes.
That's really cool.
For Cardinals fans, I know you rail on your front office a little bit here the last year and a half.
That's impressive.
That's unbelievable because they all are major league quality talents.
Right.
What you lack is that high end hitting talent.
I heard Will Leach last night on the Cardinal Radio Network say that. He's like, the Cardinals have always been a team of support players surrounded by one really good player. Albert Pujols was that guy. Carlos Beltran kind of carried the mantle for a little bit. You've always had that guy plus a lot of really good support guys.
And a deep staff.
And he's like, right now, offensively, they're just a bunch of support players.
Yep.
Is what they are.
Yeah.
But last night was certainly cool. Harrison Bader, his dad, I read the story this morning. I'm sure you did as well. His dad happened to be in Memphis. And when he got the call-up. So Harrison and his dad were able to go to the game. His mom and his sister flew out from New York. They got there late in the game.
Will Leach had a funny tweet last night. He goes, I'm getting to that age where these parents, players who just got called up are just looking a little older than me.
Yes.
Just a little now.
Not much.
Yeah.
I used to be like, wow, that dude's old. That's definitely his dad. Now I'm like, that guy's my age.
Yeah.
But certainly a cool story. And Harrison Bader gets on with a double in the 9th inning and then ends up coming home on a shallow fly to right from Jed Jerko to win the game. And it was just a cool thing. The sure jubilation of him just jumping into Matt Carpenter's arms.
We're all kids, right? I mean,
Amen.
You're reminded that, hey, we all loved this game once and it's just fun to play. And to do that in your major league debut, that's awesome.
That's something you'll never forget. Never forget.
And I feel like the White Sox are going to have a lot of debuts.
You're going to have a lot of that.
It's been a while since they made a trade. And yesterday I mentioned Anthony Swarzak's name and he he was dealt to the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday. They get Ryan Cordell back, an outfielder. A lot of people project him as a fourth outfielder, but he's having a really good year at AAA. A bunch of homers. He's a swing and miss guy, but he does have some speed. Just an all, pretty good at a lot of things.
Got it.
But he's they have a lot of depth in outfield, and they could obviously expend that. But they turned Anthony Swarzak, who they signed in a minor league deal in January, into a guy they control for the next 6 years.
They're doing exactly what the Cubs did.
Yeah, and maybe this guy can turn into a major league producer. And I saw some White Sox fans, Swarzak was doing well. Well, he's only signed through this year.
Yeah, who cares?
And he's not going to be a part of your future.
You don't want him to do well this year.
Yeah.
You don't want him to win games. We want to lose as many games as possible.
We're going to put Tyler Clippard in that closing role so that he blows as many saves as possible.
It is that. I mean, obviously you want him to do well, so he's the centerpiece of a trade like he was yesterday. And as we've talked about, not every one of these guys is going to make it.
Yeah.
But the more you have, the better chance you have of a few of these being a hit at the major league level.
And Cordell is the number 17 prospect in the Brewers, who have a good system right now. So he'll probably be, 25, in the, top 25 in the White Sox, but it's not just about these star players. It's about depth. I mean, we talk about the Cardinals all the time.
All the time.
Matt Carpenter wasn't a top prospect, but you keep taking chances on these guys, especially with the White Sox position players. And maybe, some scouts are pretty high on this kid that he can be a major league producer. If he turns into a major league player, even if he's a fourth outfielder, that's a pretty dang good return for someone who is a minor league contract guy.
Absolutely.
In Swarzak. So that's what you do. You mentioned it. The Cubs rebuild was different because they tanked to get high draft picks. The White Sox had these trade pieces, so they're probably a year or two ahead of where the Cubs started this thing, but they are going to do these sign and flips. I mean, that's kind of what Holland was supposed to be. Miguel Gonzalez. No, those guys haven't turned out. But Swarzak, Tommy Kahnle turned into a Blake Rutherford basically at the end of this thing. So good for the White Sox. I mean, they keep adding depth to the farm system, and they keep taking away from their major league roster,
yes, they do,
which will make them a top 3 guaranteed pick, it seems like.
Isn't it unreal? I mean, it's crazy, and that's what you want. And also, these kind of guys can be the bookends of trades down the road when you get better and want to get even better.
Like the Cubs are doing.
Absolutely.
Eloy Jimenez.
I mean, we hear Eloy Jimenez. Torres. You know him. You know Gleyber Torres. There's also other guys in those deals that maybe you don't know much about, but the other team says, you know what, he'd fit well on our team.
But Rutherford might turn into a trade piece when they're ready to compete. I mean, that's the other thing. It's just about accruing as many assets as possible, and we've talked about it. Rick Hahn has done a really, really good job with that. We got a busy show for you today. Mark Tupper, Decatur Hill and Review, will join us at 4:05. He was at Big Ten Media Days the last couple days. We'll get his reaction just around the conference, what his thoughts are, who stood out at Big Ten Media Days, who he's intrigued by, and then we'll start to break down the Illini as well. Bears training camp starts today.
Wow. I saw a tweet today that from another reporter that had basically said, much love and prayers to all the reporters that have to cover Bears camp for the next 3 weeks.
Godspeed.
Godspeed, exactly.
Kevin Fishman, ProFootballWeekly.com, will join us at 5:05. We'll talk quarterbacks, Mike Glennon and Mitch Trubisky. Those are the main storylines. John Fox probably on the hot seat, and where he thinks, what he thinks of this team this year. I don't think they're going to do very much.
No, I don't either.
But you never know.
Is there any shred of excitement in you about the Bears?
Just the quarterbacks.
Yeah, just to see.
Heck of a lot more intrigue because Trubisky's there.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
That would be me. If I were a Bears fan, that'd be the guy. I know Glennon's your starter early. But
I don't think Trubisky will play much this year, but I do think he will at some point.
You want to see a little bit of him and see how he reacts.
We'll also talk some more Cardinals. Chris Raby, KMOX. You said you had an issue with Mike Shannon.
Oh, my goodness. Well, last night, that's such a big play, right? It's such a big play in terms of this. I know that this is just game whatever of a season, and you're still 4 back, and the Cardinals are plodding along, and I understand that this game didn't get you into first place, but the excitement level at that stadium in the 9th inning when Harrison Bader is at third base, when everybody in that stadium, and I know it was like a paid crowd of 41. There weren't that many left when that happened.
Such a terrible crowd.
Right, exactly. If there's 25,000 left, all 25,000, I can promise you, if I went up to every one of them and said, what's this moment big for? Well, it's big because that's a rookie at third, and he could score the game-winning run in his major league debut. Mike Shannon calls it like it's, hey, it's a fly ball to right, and he scores. Harrison Bader scores. I'm like,
kind of his thing, isn't it?
It is. It's like, Mike, look, I love Mike Shannon like you love Hawk.
Yeah.
In terms of, and
it's a part of my baseball
that's
life.
That's exactly right. And people have heard me say this ad nauseum. They're probably puking now, but Mike Shannon and Jack Buck were the two people that I was raised on with Cardinals baseball. Jack unfortunately passed away. When Mike Shannon is done, there will be a piece of me that is gone. Because those are the two guys that I have heard since I was able to listen to a radio announce Cardinals baseball, and that means something to me. Whether or not I'm in radio, I don't know, but that means something to me, even if there's games where Shannon sounds like he wants to be moose hunting in Canada. But last night, I'm like, at least if you're going to do this, Mike, at least rise to the occasion. On occasion.
There's not a lot of inflection in Mike Shannon's voice, which it reminds me of Ed Farmer on the White Sox. Like sometimes I'll listen to the White Sox and I don't know what's going on because inflection is so big. Like you get a little quicker when something big's happening, you raise your voice a little bit.
Good call.
You can't just stay this monotone like Ed Farmer would be like, that's a deep fly ball to left center field and Melky Cabrera's got his 12th homer of the year.
It's like, what? So he did
wait,
homer.
So he scored? What? What happened?
And Shannon used to be fun like that, and I get it. We all get older. Listen, I'm starting to feel that. But just understand the moment, Mike, and make a little bit better call. That or let John Rooney do the ninth and be done with it.
Here's my thing. John Rooney is a pro.
He is.
He's a pro play-by-play guy.
He gets agitated. That's the only error I have against him.
Yeah.
You can tell when he's mad.
I mean, he's got the Cardinals are better than everybody.
Yes,
right?
And when the Cubs started
way.
getting better, there's no way, and you know what, why they should be better than us. But other than that.
Claibs has a little bit of
does.
that too, right?
He
I mean,
does.
you're around a team so much, you get this haughty-taughty thing.
You do.
It's the Cardinal way and all that.
But you're right. I interrupted you. John Rooney is an absolute pro.
Why does Shannon do play-by?
Because he's Mike Shannon.
Like, I get Rooney's got to take an inning off or whatever because it's so hard doing these jobs. I love that guys take innings off all the time. I know you got to go to the bathroom at some point.
But Shannon gets the first inning, and Shannon gets the ninth inning.
Yeah, see,
he's
that's
the
where
alpha dog, right?
The ninth inning. Like,
I know. He's the alpha. When he's there, he's the alpha.
A lot of times when we put our playoff things together, it's Shannon, and I'm like,
Here's what I love listening to Shannon. In the fourth inning of a dull game, when he starts telling stories about him playing against the Dodgers back in 68.
With Hawk Harrelson, he's covered so many losing teams. The Yaz stories are phenomenal.
Exactly.
Or that like Carlos Delgado was the best, opposite field hitter in Comiskey Park history.
And you love that.
And he's just like, it's a fact. Like, we have metrics on this. But Hawk went nuts yesterday.
Yes, he did.
During the Cubs game, as John Lackey's plunking people.
Oh.
It seems like his control on his cutter was really, really bad. But here's Hawk.
Okay.
Yesterday. It's about 2.5 minutes, but it's kind of TV
I mean,
gold.
I would listen to Hawk for 10.
Let's see if it'll actually play.
Come on, Hawk.
Come on, computer.
Do not do this to us. People want Hawk Harrelson. They'll instead we got to listen to Shannon again, maybe.
Live radio.
I know it. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll see if we can get this figured out. But basically, the surrounding was that John Lackey did not have control yesterday.
Do you think he was trying to plunk people?
No. They're playing the White Sox. And I get it that it's a crosstown, whatever you call this trophy.
Crosstown Cup, man.
That you guys own.
Used to be is it the BB Cup or now, or is it just the Crosstown Cup?
Something like that. And I get it that you own it, and I get it that the White Sox beat you the first game, and I get it that you're the Cubs now.
I'm getting one of those circle wheels
I get
on
that
the computer.
Well, I don't get that anymore because I've got Wi-Fi. Here we go.
That's enough of that, Lackey. That's enough of that BS. You're going to, okay. Let's see which one of your boys is going to get drilled close. Or maybe you. You can bet your sweet Bippy somebody on that team is going to get drilled from the Cubs.
We'll have to see the response.
Let's see. When's Lackey hit? Not for a while. Or just wait and get him after the game. That way nobody can break it up.
With Moncada up next. I think he'd be very careful with a man who hit one 8 miles yesterday, and his 19 home runs show you what a power threat he is, and there is the youngster.
Steve Stone's just calming him down.
In the on-deck circle.
Lackey, it's just a matter of time, buddy.
That one got inside, and
just a matter of time.
That's 3 hit batsmen the same inning, and Ricky Renteria is saying, you got a warning in there somewhere.
Pacing back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
I hope he doesn't give a warning. That means we can't hit anybody. I'll tell you what, you could fry some eggs on Renteria's behind right now.
You'd understand that.
Oh, hey.
Not only did his big guy get hit, but so did Davidson and Moncada to go with it.
This is gold.
Right here, Timmy, we need a hit, buddy. In fact, I'd like to see you hit one right back through the middle and just drill. Knock Lackey right off that mound. Pap knew it was coming. That's the reason I didn't want Barksdale. And Barksdale knew what was going on. He was going to allow us to have a little retaliatory action.
Yeah.
That's Hawk Harrelson.
That's one of the funniest things I've heard in a while. I was literally belly laughing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, knowing he's done, I'm laughing. If I thought he was going to be here for another 5 years, I bet, oh, God.
Man, was he just mad.
This is what Hawk has turned into the last 5-7 years.
Wow.
Remember his thing on Wegner?
Oh, yes. And I get it.
He gets into these rants because he is a White Sox fan now, right?
Right.
Covering the team as long as he has, since 1984, 85, after he got fired as GM, he turns into the TV booth, which is so Jerry Reinsdorf. But Hawk is a big part of my baseball life.
No doubt.
He is a character. His stories are funny, but he has turned into a caricature of himself.
Yes.
And he's just not a professional. I think that's where this thing is going.
That's the problem.
Where you have much more professional people
Right.
in the booth, like Len Casper, who obviously has a Cubs rooting interest.
Yeah, but he's not sitting there saying drill him.
He's giving his opinions at times.
Right.
But you could hear Stoney trying to be the professional here and giving his opinion. But Hawk is not that. Hawk is the biggest homer.
He really is.
That's why he ranks the lowest among the broadcasters every year when they do those rankings. But it is funny at this point because we know next year he's got 20 games and that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, and then he's going to be done.
Maybe he's just he's the bitter old man because we all get that way.
Yeah.
He's the bitter old man that realizes that everybody else understands what the White Sox are doing right now because they're going to start winning here in a couple of years. But for him, it's like, well, that's not doing me any good.
Yeah, I mean, he's covered, I think, 4 playoff teams.
He's like, well, I'm glad we're getting worse because this is it for me, and I don't want to go out like that.
Will you miss this type of broadcaster? Because I don't think they exist.
Not that strong.
Yeah.
Now, that's funny if you're not a Sox fan, and I guess now that you know a brawl didn't ensue and all of that, maybe it's funnier now, but I don't know that I need him at that level. I like a little home field cooking.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some bias. There's going to be a little bit of rooting interest. And Jason Benetti grew up a White Sox fan. Jason's really good. He's the guy who does half the games now, most of the home games. And I think Jason's really good.
Yes.
You know he's got a little White Sox rooting interest, but you know you're getting a professional broadcast.
And I understand that, like, John Rooney's a professional. He's very good at what he does. Sometimes that can get boring almost.
Yeah.
And sometimes in a baseball game, especially when you're listening to it on the radio, if you're listening on the radio or even TV, I guess, baseball is one of those where a guy can kind of steal the scene a little bit. Football, there's always action going on. Basketball, there's always action. Baseball is when those guys' personality come out. So I think you need some personality. You could be the best, just never miss grammar, enunciate everything kind of guy. And I think after a while that'd get boring.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to hear a Shannon go,
sure,
or whatever.
That's why they're called color animals.
That's
right?
exactly right. But
that adds some life to it.
That gets a little out of hand, but that was Bippy? Is that what he said?
I've never heard that word.
He was just trying not to curse, I think, at that point.
And he's got a lot of words for that. Do you have a go-to non-curse word that you throw in?
No, I really don't.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm
on this show, we have to catch ourselves every once in a while.
I'm not proud to say, but I do curse on occasion, and but I don't do it on the radio. But no, I usually just let it fly.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not in a public.
Yeah. I do think you want some emotion in there.
Yes.
Brian Barnhart covering Illinois.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He gets excited when Illinois gets excited. I think you got to do that when you're a broadcaster because you're broadcasting to that fan. So you need to sound excited when that team's doing something exciting.
That's correct. And I agree with that. But that was pure gold. I could listen to that every morning when I woke up, and that would start my day off on the right. I might have to just download that, and every morning when I wake up, play Hawk, ripping on John Lackey. That would get my day off to a smile every day.
There's more trade talk about the Cardinals and Cubs. We'll chat about that. I don't know if the White Sox have anybody else to deal.
I was going to say, what else
Maybe
do you got?
Melky Cabrera can be thrown out there. But Bears training camp opens. Lovey and Joe Madden met, and they were mic'd up. We'll play that conversation a little bit later.
Okay.
We'll have Lon and Austin's Dunkirk review. I am so excited about this movie, and I'm excited to hear what you guys think of it.
Couldn't be more opposite.
Both of you?
Yeah, between us, we could not be more opposite about this movie. That's a tease.
I can guess who liked it.
Okay.
And even if I didn't know how you guys felt about it, I could guess who liked it and who didn't.
Okay.
A Christopher Nolan movie.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan, Tom Hardy's in it. Who else is in it?
Yeah. Bunch of British guys that I didn't know.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I'm anxious to talk about it.
We'll talk Illini with Mark Tupper, Decatur Herald and Review. We'll talk Bears with Kevin Fishbane, Pro Football Weekly. And Chris Raby, KMOX 525. We'll talk some Cardinals. If you want to weigh in, you can call the Jupiters, the Crossing phone line, or text the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. Download the WSJK app, and you can watch us live anywhere. Or listen to us live anywhere in the world. You can watch us live on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show. You can get our podcast at espncu.com, or you can find us on iTunes, powered by GTPS Insurance. We have too many interns here today.
The crew's here. That's the way to
Austin Berkland, Maddie Button, Harry Black, Jack Long, David Morrow, and Trevor Valise. Somebody go home.
Maddie got cold yesterday. She brought a blanket today. So she is going to be warm in that room. I don't know.
That's how my wife does that stuff.
There's 6 of them in a room.
Is there a physical, is there science behind
some people are
that?
Just cold-blooded.
Yeah, that women run colder than us?
Maybe.
Or just, is it skinnier people run colder than us?
That's probably it.
It probably has to do with mass, right?
I normally don't get cold unless it's really cold out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm always hot.
Because Maddie is Maddie's a taller girl, but
yes,
she's by far the smallest person.
Yes. Here. Without a doubt. So maybe that's why she brought a blanket. I mean, that's just smart to me. Smart thinking. All right, it's the Tay and J Show.
Baxter's Grill in Champaign serves up classic American cuisine made with the freshest ingredients. And now, all summer long, you can enjoy Baxter's delicious food and ice-cold drinks outside in their spacious outdoor bar and patio. In addition to their signature appetizers and entrees, Baxter's has happy hour specials 6 days a week, including half-price bottles of wine on Tuesdays and $2 Coronas and $4 margaritas on Thursdays, along with live music on Thursdays and Saturdays. Baxter's American Grill, 100 Trade Center Drive in Champaign.
Spring into your new home with Busey. With free pre-qualifications, you can search for the perfect house knowing all of your options. From a new pool to that amazing new patio, let our award-winning team of associates make your dream of home ownership a reality. Visit Busey.com to apply in minutes or stop by one of our many convenient locations today. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Jet's Pizza Champaign, we start fresh every day with the freshest ingredients. We hand make the dough, cut the vegetables, and grate the finest all-natural mozzarella cheese. Anything else wouldn't be better pizza. Order our best of Jet's, a one-topping large pizza for just $11.99, and let your taste buds scream.
Let's get Jet's. When you hit the brakes in time, but the guy behind you doesn't, get it to Gerber. When your teenager puts the dent in Stu Dent Driver, yep, get it to Gerber. Gerber Collision and Glass. Call 877-7-GERBER. Gerber comes highly recommended.
The 2017 Champaign County Fair returns to the Champaign County Fairgrounds Friday, July 21st through Saturday, July 29th. Enjoy fair food and carnival rides, live music in the beer pavilion, and tons of events at the grandstand. Friday, it's Division II Midget Series racing. Saturday at the fair, it's Military Day with the Classic and Custom Car and Truck Show and the Demolition Derby at 6 p.m. Family and Agricultural Day takes place Sunday at the fair. And new this year, the IPRA Rodeo presented by Wooten Rodeo Company at the grandstand at 5:30. Monday, it's Livestock Day and the Big Talent Show. Tuesday at the fairgrounds, don't miss harness racing. Wednesday, July 26th at the Champaign County Fairgrounds, the Dick Andre Memorial Race. Thursday, it's 4-H and Youth Day. Then Friday, live music from country stars Chris Young and Drew Baldridge on the Craig's Concrete Stage. Then the fair wraps up Saturday, July 29th with tractor pulls all day long. Kids and families will love Bracelet Day. Unlimited rides on Sunday, July 23rd. Guard, Tuesday, July 25th and Saturday, July 29th. Go to ChampaignCountyFair.cc for more information. That's ChampaignCountyFair.cc. Go to ChampaignCountyFair.cc.
Flooring Surfaces Factory Outlet is the premier source for discount flooring in Central Illinois. Dozens of Mill Direct carpet rolls are in stock now. You can take home a new carpet today or use our professional installation service and we'll measure for free. And check out the Deal Zone, where porcelain tile is just 49 cents. Hardwood, laminate, carpet, or vinyl, you'll find great discounts at Flooring Surfaces Factory Outlet, 1703 North Dunlap in Savoy.
Flooring Surfaces, the world at your feet.
Summer is here and there's no better way to swing into the season than at Willow Pond Golf Course, the most improved golf course in Central Illinois. Golf for $30 Monday through Friday with a cart, $20 after 3 p.m. Golf Saturday and Sunday with a cart for just $35 and $25 after 3 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Seniors golf Monday through Friday with a cart for just $20. Not a golfer? The 19th Hole Bar and Grill serves up great food and drink specials, live video gaming, and the Full Swing Golf Simulator. Call and schedule a tee time today at 893-9000 or willowpondgolf.com.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What'll he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkman with the 3:30 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent Sean Kaywood. Life insurance is one of those subjects that make people want to change a subject rather than admit they probably don't have enough. Find out the benefits of life insurance can live on for your family. Call State Farm agent Sean Kaywood in Champaign at 217-367-1105. Harrison Bader had his big league moment in the bottom of the ninth of a tie ball game.
Yes!
Bader hit a double and then would eventually score the winning run off of Jed Jerko's sac fly. The Cardinals win against the Rockies 3-2. Cardinals play tonight, and it's Jeff Hoffman versus Carlos Martinez. Game time is 7:15, and it's on our station, ESPN CU 93.5. Bader is hitting 7th tonight. Speaking of the Cardinals, John Morosi is reporting the Cardinals will listen to offers on outfielders Tommy Pham and Randall Grichuk. In other trade deadline news, the Cubs are reportedly involved in Seth Lugo, the righty, and backup catcher Rene Rivera, both from the Mets. Bob Nightingale is reporting that the Cubs remain the team most interested in Justin Verlander, but his contract is a stumbling block. Tigers could find more takers this winter. The Cubs have reinstated Brett Anderson from the 60-day DL and then DFA'd him. Anderson was 2-2 with a 5.60 ERA in 6 games started at the Smokies Baseball, the AA affiliate of the Cubs, giving him a 14 ERA of 34 hits, 9 walks, and 27 1/3 innings pitched. The Cubs experiment is done. Tonight it's Cubs White Sox in the Crosstown Cup. They play at 7:15. It's Jake Arrieta versus James Shields.
Wonder how many people Arrieta is going to hit.
James Shields.
Probably none.
Really helps with our tanking, by the way.
No doubt.
James Shields is probably going to give up more homers than Lackey.
If you don't win by 10 runs tonight, it'll be a disappointment.
Yeah, I know. Listen on US 105.9.
Nice. All right, thank you, Austin. It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner.
So I asked,
weigh in 359-2255.
Yeah, and you can do that in the Jupiter's Crossing phone line or the Chief Bauer text line. I asked on Twitter, what are some words you use to substitute for swear words?
I thought of one.
In front of kids or on the radio like we are.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I say freaking.
Yes.
Freaking.
I say frickin'.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
And I think everybody understands what word we were going at.
Brad said, what the fudge? Son of a gun.
Okay.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yep.
Gosh darn it. And what the heck?
Okay.
Those are pretty standard.
Those are very standard.
Corey said, oh, fudge. Tony said, my dad says, God bless America.
Oh, I like that.
Growing up, I thought he was extremely patriotic.
But he heard it all the time.
Eric said, shut the front door.
Okay.
And bologna sandwich.
Bologna sandwich.
For BS.
Yes. Okay, I like it.
My football coach used to say Jiminy Christmas.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that. Or Jiminy Crickets.
Or Crime in Italy. Have you ever heard that one?
No.
Yeah. Crime in Italy.
Okay, no.
But he kind of made crime in kind of a one word, so it was Crime in Italy and then Jiminy Christmas.
See that? And it takes effort to do that.
Yeah.
It takes effort not to say what you want to say.
You got to hear it from somebody else.
You do. You really have to. I think we're all
and that
human.
becomes a habit.
Yeah.
So if you want to tweet those in, text those in, we can do that throughout the show.
I love it. 359-2255. Cliff and Urbana is throwing out some stuff here. He's bitter. But he's actually saying why he's defending Shannon here because, and I get it, Cliff. I do get it. He's basically saying Shannon's like that because he's tired of bad baseball and he's tired of watching guys get picked off.
Because Mike Shannon has watched so much bad baseball during his career. Gosh, Cardinals fans.
I know. Isn't that the truth?
1 year where you're struggling a little bit. And you're still 4 games back.
I know. You're 1 6-game winning streak away from being within 2 games of
titled fan.
I know. I just rise to the occasion, Shannon.
So, Lon, if I asked you who's leading the Cardinals in wins above replacement this year?
Oh my goodness.
Your answer would be?
In wins above replacement. That's a really, really good question. I would probably guess either Jed Jerko or Yadi Molina.
Jed Jerko is second among hitters. Yadi Molina is 6th among hitters.
Lance Lynn
actually 6th among pitchers, which is surprising.
Really?
Rosenthal is 5th among pitchers. Wainwright, my boy Mike Leake, 4th on the team.
Look at that.
He's been awesome, just like I said. Mike Waka is 2.1 wins above replacement. That's 3rd on the team.
Tommy Pham.
That is correct.
Is it really?
He's a 3 wins above replacement on Fangraphs. He's played in 71 games.
Wow.
14 home runs, 13 steals, 393 OBP, 530 slugging, and Carlos Martinez is second at 2.3 wins above replacement. So Tommy Pham has been phenomenal. He's 29 years old, and John Morosi said the Cardinals expect to listen to offers on Tommy Pham and Randall Grichuk.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
It's funny because Pham, why do we do this too? And I'm not avoiding your question here. I will get back to your question. I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Sure.
And that was a shout out to all politicians. I'm just kidding. So
we love you all.
Yes, we do.
Not really.
Why do we pigeonhole? Maybe I'm the only one, or maybe I'm the only one that feels this way. Because Tommy Pham is like 29, and because I didn't hear all about him coming up and how he was this next Harrison Bader.
AAA for like 8 years.
Yeah. Because of that, I can't make myself feel like he is such a valuable piece. I understand what he's done this year. He's been unbelievable.
In 2015, he was really good.
Right?
In 52 games, he had a 1.5 wins above replacement, 347 OBP. 477 slugging. Last year, in 78 games, hit 9 home runs. Didn't hit for a good average, though. 226 average.
I think it's a Lon problem, but when you look at that, if there's one guy you want in the lineup every night to be that you know is going to be consistent, it's him.
Yes,
it's Tommy Pham, and yet there's something about him that when he, like, let's say he's up to bat, I don't get excited. I'm just like, oh, Tommy Pham.
Even though he's your most productive player,
right?
But he's a guy that. Are you like scared to sell, or you'd go, no, sell high on that guy?
I would sell high.
Because
somebody would take him.
He's still got 3 years of control, arbitration.
It's hard for me because this outfield has so many guys that I'm to the point now where if you can sell high with any of these guys, then you sell high with him. That's where I'm at with it. But for Tommy Pham in general, I just don't ever feel like he's going to be our everyday whatever for the next 5 years. So I'm like, yeah, if you can get somebody, go.
Here's another sell high. Do you sell high on Michael Wacha?
I think you do. At
26 years old.
And you know me, I like Wacha.
Having a heck of a year.
He really is. He's really had a great turnaround. 4 of his last 5 outings were ridiculous.
His strikeout percentage is ridiculous right now. He's not walking very many guys.
The reason I would hesitate on him, the reason I would take a deep breath at whereas on a lot of guys like Lance Lynn, I'd be like, what is your proposal? Let's do it. If it was Michael Wacha, I would, and I like Lynn. I mean, I told you 2 weeks ago.
There's only a half a year
of
control left, so you might as well get something unless you think giving him up keeps you from signing him again if that's what you want to do.
That's exactly right. Now, but for Wacha, the reason I take a breath is because I think to myself, all right, am I now seeing him healthy? Because I think it's easy with athletes to understand and to rip on them. And then all of a sudden you find out, hey, he was battling this ankle injury or this heel injury or a wrist injury. But with Michael Wacha, you sit there now and you watch him pitch and you think, you know what? He's hitting 97, 98. In the ninth inning, he threw, 97 for his last pitch.
Yeah.
And his changeup is working and his cutter's getting a little better. So it's one of those situations where I sit there and look, all right, am I not sold on him because of the way that he just really depressed me for a long time? Or is he now healthy?
Yeah.
And this is what he can do when he's healthy?
If healthy, how much different is he than Sonny Gray? How much
Probably
different
not
is
much.
he than Marcus Stroman?
Yeah, probably not much.
If healthy, he's
I
more
agree.
proven, actually, than
You're right.
probably those guys.
And especially like postseason.
But that health is the big question.
It is.
He's a tough one. Like, what do you do with him?
It is tough.
He's not a free agent until 2020, but he's got some arbitration years obviously coming
And
up.
I've never disliked Michael Wacha. I've
I
always
think
been
he
a
can
fan
be
of his.
really good when healthy.
Yep, and I always look at him and I think the comparison to Adam Wainwright, it's just easy to do. They're both slender, tall right-handers that maybe don't pitch the same, but they have some similarities to where you look at it and say, all right, could Wacha be that next guy? So he's a guy that's never bugged me, and I would hate, I'll be honest with you, I would hate it. I would hate hearing the news that Michael Wacha was traded.
You'd have to get a really good prospect.
That's
back.
exactly right. So I hope I
Or
didn't.
he'd have to be a part of a big deal
Yes.
for like a Giancarlo Stanton.
I didn't mean to jump around that, but I think I would hesitate a little with Wacha. But if the right deal's there with almost anybody on this team, I'm doing it.
If you're getting your big bat,
yes.
If you have confidence that Flaherty is going to be really good,
exactly.
that Luke Weaver is going to be a part of your rotation,
And I feel the
I'd be
same
willing
way.
to. But I'd have to get I think you'd have to get that big bat.
Yes, I agree. And I feel the same way about Trevor Rosenthal because he's controlled, I think, through next season. I still think a guy that can throw 100 miles an hour is still the guy I want to trot out in the ninth inning.
Yeah.
I know he's had his issues. I know there's a few games, but I saw a stat the other day out of like 100 career saves with the Cardinals. He's blown like maybe 12. I don't know. I mean, maybe it was even more impressive than that.
He seems to always make it interesting.
He does. He always makes it interesting, but for the most part, he gets out of it and gets the job done. So Rosie's another guy that I think I would just sit there and go, yeah, if it's right, if it's going to bring the right guy. But, man, I would not be happy personally as a fan to see any one of those guys go.
Bob Nightingale, about 52 minutes ago, tweeted out, the Cubs remain the team most interested in Justin Verlander, but his contract is the stumbling block. He's owed $28 million in 2018 and 2019, and obviously owed a lot left this year. The Tigers could find more takers this winter. I think Verlander makes the most sense of the options and the cost that will be involved, and we've talked about that. Do you think money should hold the Cubs back?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because right now the only issue you have is you're running out of your farm system.
Yeah.
I would rather pay him 6 million for the next 2 years and maybe even a little more.
It depends on if they're asking for like your top 3 prospects and to eat all the money.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling them no.
No.
But if they're asking for Candelario and a guy lower in your system and to eat the money, man, I'm considering that because I'm thinking, okay, I give up a draft pick maybe like Candelario who's blocked in our system.
Good call.
And this is basically a free agent signing for us.
That's a good
Is
call.
it expensive? Yes.
Yes.
But the years are right. I mean, because if you go into free agency and want to sign Yu Darvish, you're probably talking 5 years, right? $125 million, and that's those last couple of years could really stink for you.
No doubt. No, we'll piece this together. Let's say that happens. Let's say Verlander, and we're going to fast forward to next year. You've got Lester making about $30 million. You'd have Verlander making about $28 million. You've got Quintana, who's only making what? 10? Maybe $10 million.
And that's part of the Quintana deal is it allows you to make this kind of deal, right?
And then you'd have, I would assume, Hendricks. I don't even know what he's making.
Costing
Probably
you
not
nothing.
much. And then you could still go out and add a guy. So to me,
you're the Cubs. You got money.
Yeah, and you're not paying Bryant, really. You're not paying Baez.
I mean, Rizzo's on a great deal.
You're not paying Contreras yet. You're not paying.
You are paying
Ian
Hayward.
Happ. You're paying Hayward a lot. There's no doubt. If you could get out of that now, Cardinals fans, aren't you happy that head? But it is. I think the Cubs. If I'm in win now mode, and I know you can't break the bank. You got to work with a budget, right? We talked about that with Josh Whitman. But if I'm the Cubs, I'm wanting to be as ultra aggressive. The only reason I stop short of getting Verlander with all that money is if you don't feel like he makes the difference to get you past the Nationals or the Dodgers. That'd be the only way.
If you think you can get by with Lackey as your fourth starter.
And I can tell you that answer now.
Right.
He's too hittable. You would not want John Lackey, as much as a bulldog as we think he is, to pitch an important game 4 in a 7-game series.
Do you mean his pitch is hittable or his face is hittable?
Yeah, either one. But his wife's hot.
Well, of course.
I mean, of course she is. Of course she is.
Some baseball player making millions and millions of dollars.
But let me throw it back to you because I want to hear your opinion on that. Too much do I give my opinion. Do you feel like that? I mean, you'd take that, wouldn't you?
I like that setup.
I do too.
I think Verlander's a good pitcher. I know he's struggling this year, but I do think he's still a good pitcher. I mean, he did finish second in the Cy Young voting last year.
Wow.
People forget that.
Yep.
And he's had a really good month.
Yes.
So I think he's going to be back to a good pitcher, but he doesn't have to be your ace.
No.
And you're talking about a guy who's got a lot of playoff experience, has pitched in huge games for that team.
Right.
That won't be an issue for him. He's always had pressure on him. I mean, he's got pressure just being Kate Upton's fiance or whatever.
I mean, his rookie year he's thrown in the World Series.
Yeah, so I think this is a kind of guy who
has pressure being her fiance.
I think he's got things you want except for that contract.
Agree.
But if I'm the Cubs and I'm thinking about making and winning World Series the next couple of years, I think he makes sense with the cost. I don't think he'll cost that many prospects that you really are going to care about in the long term.
Totally agree.
Because Candelario
is blocked. You said it. I agree.
I mean, he's a trade piece.
Yep.
That's what he is. So if that's what the Tigers are asking for, I'm really intrigued by him.
If you told me, Lon, you're going to live the most stressed next 5 years of your life because of the pressure you're going to have of dating Kate Upton, I would absolutely sign up for that right now.
Speaking of John Lackey.
Oh, boy.
And how rich he is.
Yes.
How much money do you think he's made in his career?
I mean, he's pitched for what? 16, 15, 14 seasons?
He's pitched in 9 postseasons, by the way.
Wow. Oh, he's won 3 World Series, right?
16 seasons.
16 seasons. He's made well over $200 million. I'd say 185.
185. Close, but high.
Really? I would
the
honestly.
Most he's ever made in a season was with the Red Sox. His first season there made $18.7 million. He didn't make a lot with the Angels.
Well, or the Cardinals. Remember the deal with the Cardinals?
Right.
They barely had to pay him.
He made $500,000 that year. I mean, that was one of the best deals
ever.
I mean, what was Alan Craig and Joe Kelly?
Yes.
For 2 years of John Lackey.
Unbelievable.
And that vesting option that was just, that's Mo at his best, isn't it?
No doubt.
That
no
deal
doubt.
Was so great.
So he's what, about 170?
140.5.
Oh, I thought it would be a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
I really did because I thought he got paid from the Red Sox for a while, but I just figured it'd be a lot more than that. But that $500,000 will really hurt you.
I mean, no one likes Lackey, but he's had a heck of a career.
Oh, he really has. He really has. All right, 359-2255. Somebody brought up Tommy Pham has had vision problems that have plagued him throughout his career. That is true. That is true, and I think he has some new contacts now that are helping him out. And, there again, like I talked about with injury, sometimes you find out a guy was injured, and all of a sudden they're a lot better, and you realize, oh, it's because they were injured. Maybe that's the deal with Pham. Maybe he can see better now, and so he's showing what kind of a player he can be. That's cool. I wish nothing but the best for that kid because he seems like a likable one for sure.
But trade him now.
But trade him. Get rid of him now. It's the Tay and J Show.
The same people you trust after a fire or water disaster will also keep your house clean year-round. That's because the specialists at ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County are trained in every category of cleaning, from mold remediation to the cleaning of carpets, upholstery, air ducts, and crawl spaces. They're here to help protect every square foot of your most valuable possessions. ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County, or visit them at servproofchampaignUrbana.com. That's the bright green cleanup team at ServPro of Champaign-Urbana and South Champaign County. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Life is full of twists and turns. You can't see the unknown, but you can certainly prepare for it. Pekin Life Insurance Company offers a variety of term and whole life insurance policies that are designed to meet the needs of individuals and their families. Options include transitional life, universal life, preferred whole life, family term life, and many others. Visit PekinInsurance.com or ask your local Pekin Insurance agent about an affordable, beyond the expected life insurance policy that's right for you.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Champaign County Head Start, a program of the Champaign County Regional Planning Commission, has openings for qualified teachers, teachers' aides, preschool teachers, substitute teachers, and bus drivers. Head Start provides a variety of opportunities for those wanting to get started in the childcare preschool field at locations in Champaign, Urbana, Savoy, and Rintoul, along with competitive benefits, health insurance, tuition reimbursement, and a great work environment. For more information, visit our website at ccrpc.org.
Summerbration. Summerbration. It's a funny word that combines summer and celebration into one, and it's a key component of the Honda Summerbration sales event. But it's not limited to nor exclusive to it. For example, feel free to say, I'm celebrating my friend's birthday with a picnic in the park, or sweet jacuzzi, let's all suit up and summerate together. So, while we made certain well-qualified buyers can say, I got 0.9% APR at the Honda Summerbration sales event on a 2017 Honda Accord from KBB.com's best value brand, please feel free to use Summerbration as you see fit, liberally, all summer long. There's a Summerbration happening at your Honda dealer, so hurry in today.
Visit your local Central Illinois Honda dealers today.
Based on 2017 Brand Image Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for information. APR financing offers available for well-qualified buyers. See dealer for financing details.
Oh, hey, hi, hello there. It's me, your air conditioner. You can call me AC if you want, but Mr. Conditioner is my dad's name. Okay, listen, you may have noticed that I'm using a lot of energy right now, and that's why you need to call an expert. Yep, the experts can give me a precision tune-up, so you'll save up to 30% on energy bills, and I won't have to work so hard, which is great because I'm about to pass out.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save $41 off an AC Precision Tune-Up. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lante, Jeremy Warner. I'm not going to say it on the air, but I just came up with a beautiful way of describing a certain person.
We can mention it, can't we?
Can we?
Yeah, because
let's do. All right.
We were having a discussion.
Harry lied, by the way. I cannot see what I wanted to see from right here.
The interns.
Yes.
Were doing a game of Hot or Not.
Okay.
The other day. This is what they do behind the scenes.
Right.
And they were actually going through like dudes too, which is fun. It's actually a fun game.
It is.
For guys who are very comfortable with their own sexuality,
Absolutely.
right? So we were playing this game leading up to the wedding. And we're going through a list of women, but then all of a sudden it turns to the guys, and it actually gets more fun when you're sitting there drinking with dudes, talking about if a dude is hot or not.
That's awesome.
I know there are guys sitting out there going, "What are you doing, Jeremy?"
Boy. I'm about ready to change the channel, guys.
Yeah, just okay. Be comfortable in your own skin.
Correct.
Right?
That's correct.
But you and Carp,
have
a thing for Annie McDowell.
Annie McDowell. She was in Groundhog Day with Bill Murray.
She was in Multiplicity.
Yes.
She was the love interest in that one as well.
And I don't look at her and go, oh my, she is gorgeous, like hot.
No, I don't think Annie McDowell is like ugly.
Oh, no.
But you guys think she's hot.
There's something about her.
Nah.
No. So
but you mentioned it.
I did.
Annie McDowell, she had a teeth situation.
She did, yeah. She did. She had like an overbite, major overbite.
Okay, so that's an objective thing.
Yes.
Well, I don't even know if it was an overbite. It just
but I thought it was sexy. Like that was part of her sexiness, I think.
It's like Austin Powers.
Right. But so I said to you, I'm like, how would I describe her? I'm like, you know how we all had a friend in high school had a really hot mom? When I look at her, I'm like, that's her.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're like a 12-year-old.
Yes. You're just like, oh, wow, I'm going over to his house.
So that's a decent comp.
Okay. But Andy McDowell, yeah. Sneaky good for Carp and I. That is so funny that he and I just think she is gorgeous.
Okay. Hey, can we get your Dunkirk review?
Austin, are you ready?
Let's bring Austin Berkland and Lante in with our Dunkirk review.
This is a movie, in case you don't know, it's a movie out right now.
Christopher Nolan directs. It's about a battle in 1940, World War II. It was the British against the Nazis.
Yes.
And it really turned the war. So, Austin, let's get your review first.
Well, I mean, it's a cinematic masterclass. I think they're going to show this in film classes for the next 20 years. Sure, it didn't have a lot of character development. It didn't have those puff pieces of, hey, this is my kid. This is why I'm fighting for this war. No.
So it wasn't like Jerry Bruckheimer, Michael Bay kind of stuff.
No. In battle,
like
you're not.
Pearl Harbor, where they put a love story in.
I mean, not even Saving Private Ryan, where you got backstories of all these soldiers. It was more of, this is battle, no time to talk, no time to care about why we're fighting. We're just fighting to survive at this moment.
Yeah.
And I love the way Christopher Nolan reinvented the wheel in showing a war film. It wasn't your typical linear storyline.
Okay.
And it was so fantastic.
Now
some
of your favorite movies are Christopher Nolan movies, right?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan is probably the greatest living director right now.
So, because he's done,
That's interesting.
he did the Dark Knight trilogy.
Dark Knight, Memento, Insomnia,
Prestige.
Interstellar, Prestige, the Dark Knight trilogy.
Inception.
He is fantastic.
I will say that everything Austin just said is dead on about this movie. Dead on about this movie. And I would recommend people see it because of that. Mm-hmm. The action is unbelievable. Here's what I would recommend, because I walked out of the theater last night, my 17-year-old and I saw it, and I said, what'd you think? He's like, it was okay. And I said, I hated it. I did not like the movie at all. And I never really dislike movies. But here is what I'm going to tell everybody.
Not even Spider-Man 3.
Right, which I didn't see. Fantasia is the only movie that I walked out of and about puked into the garbage can after I threw my popcorn away. So,
8-year-old Lante.
Yeah, so I hate it. I'm like, why am I watching elephants play a flute? Like, what is this?
I thought that in kindergarten, too.
Yes.
I'm like, why are we watching this?
What is Fantasia? I went with my aunt and uncle to that movie, and I'm like, thank you for taking me. I'm like, that was the worst movie ever. So, but this movie, here's what I want to recommend to everybody, because I am a guy that loves history. I like to read books. I love reading historical books that talk about the history and talk about the wars, etc. Before you go see this, learn something about Dunkirk before you go in.
Yeah.
Because they do, and Austin, you'll agree with this, I think, they don't kind of get you up to speed on what's going on.
No. It gives you 5 lines of setup, and then it goes directly into action.
Boom. And the action is all like about a 4-hour thing that you're seeing that's condensed to a 2-hour movie, but it's the same action scene essentially, and it's unbelievable.
That's not entirely true. It's a week time.
Oh, is it a week?
Yeah.
Okay. And see, that's how confused I was. I was very confused by the movie.
One thing that people were concerned about is that it's a PG-13 war film.
Right.
The brutality is not in the blood and guts and the missing limbs. The gore is in the psychology of war.
Yeah, that's a good call. So we're running heavy here. Austin, thank you, though.
Thank you.
I would just say, if you're going to go see it, and I think for the action, it is definitely worth it, read up on Dunkirk, because it's a true story.
Yeah, I asked my buddy about it, who's a history teacher, and he basically said without this battle, the result of this battle, the Nazis would have controlled Europe by 1940.
Wow. See, now, if I knew that backstory going in...
And the war might have ended before the U.S. even got involved.
Okay, so knowing that going in, I think would make it a lot more impressive to me.
Yeah.
Because the whole time I was just like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
I get easily confused, but I'm like... I'm so confused that I'm not enjoying the movie.
Sure.
So that frustrated me a little bit.
And they spoke British.
And I love that accent, but a lot of times I couldn't understand it. And I'm like, I don't even know what they're saying.
Speak English.
Yeah, I mean, we're America.
Coming up next, Mark Tupper talk Illini. 5 o'clock hour talk Bears with Kevin Fishbane, Cardinals with Chris Raby.
It's the Tay and J Show.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Hi guys, it's your pal Corny from the Urbana Sweet Corn Festival here. I'm so excited to present the 43rd annual celebration of me, August 25th and 26th. This year's festival has gone back to my roots and is local. Visit me at the area's largest free festival and find the best local vendors, live music, the Motor Muster Car Show, and of course, the main attraction, hot and buttery locally grown sweet corn.
This festival is proudly brought to you by the Urbana Business Association, City of Urbana, Bud Light, WCIA, CUMTD, and this station. For more information, visit UrbanaSweetCornFestival.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Champaign County Restore hours have changed. The University Avenue location is open for customer shopping, donation drop-offs, and pickups on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Donations can also be received on Tuesdays from 10 to 6. Free donation pickups can be scheduled Tuesday through Saturday by calling 359-0507. Habitat for Humanity of Champaign County, online at cuhabitat.org.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
And this is a Fox News alert. A straight repeal of Obamacare has just failed in the U.S. Senate, where Republicans remain divided. Fox's Jared Halpern live on the Hill.
7 Senate Republicans joined every Democrat to oppose a repeal now replace later approach endorsed by Kentucky Republican Rand Paul. A repeal and replace measure offered by GOP leaders also was defeated.
I think we want to do as much as we can.
Republican Whip John Cornyn responding to a question about what's being called a skinny repeal, a possible compromise aimed at getting rid of the individual and employer mandates and the medical device tax. Any bill that makes it out of the Senate would also face a fresh debate in the House. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. President Trump set to announce a deal bringing thousands of jobs to the Midwest. Foxconn, a Taiwanese company that assembles iPhones, expected to build a new plant in Wisconsin. But something the president announced by tweet this morning is getting a lot more attention. A transgender ban in the military.
It is an absolute disgrace. It is a shame. It is unpatriotic, and it is cowardly.
Mara Kiesling, head of the National Center for Transgender Equality, White House spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
The decision is based on a military decision. It's not meant to be anything more than that.
She says after consultations with his national security team, the president feels the policy shift is what's best for the military. It reverses an Obama-era policy announced a year ago. New airport security rules for carry-ons are being expanded to airports across the U.S. Electronics larger than a cell phone will have to go in the bins for X-ray screening. New highs on Wall Street, the Dow up 97, topping 21,700. The S&P up a fraction, the Nasdaq up 10, a record close for all three. On the Fox Report, fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, ADT helps keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home, wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Dana Lash with NRA Carry Guard. I carry my firearm every day. I pray I'll never be forced to use it. But if I do, I know NRA Carry Guard will have my back. I can choose up to $1 million in insurance-backed protection, plus a special attorney referral network to give me the representation I need. Learn more and sign up today at nracarry.com or call 1-866-NRA-1234 to become an NRA Carry Guard member today.
An Arizona man convicted of multiple charges, including assaulting a federal officer in a ranching standoff, gets 68 years in prison. A federal judge giving Gregory Burleson almost the maximum, saying even though not a single shot was fired, the injuries were very real, including lasting psychological harm. The standoff was over rounding up cattle near the ranch of anti-government activist Cliven Bundy. North Korea may be ready to test its new long-range missile again. U.S. officials telling Fox News it could happen as soon as tonight.
The launch would mark the anniversary of the Korean War armistice. New information indicates what could be a further focus of the test by the regime of Kim Jong-un, a re-entry vehicle for a nuclear warhead, another step in building up a very dangerous arsenal.
Fox's Greg Palcott. North Korea conducted its first test of a missile capable of reaching the U.S. on July 4th. Iran could also get testy.
U.S. officials say Iran has placed a rocket on a launch pad located 140 miles east of Tehran. Iran's Samorg space launch vehicle is believed to be carrying a satellite, the second time in over a year that Tehran has attempted to put an operational satellite into orbit.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the Pentagon. Launching a satellite doesn't technically violate the nuclear deal with Iran, but there's concern it's the same kind of technology as what's needed for a long-range missile. President Trump donates his presidential salary, and from the second quarter, $100,000 is going to the Education Department, which plans a STEM camp. That's science, technology, engineering, and math.
We want to encourage as many children as possible to explore STEM fields in the hope that many develop a passion for these fields.
Education Chief Betsy DeVos. Improving STEM education was one of President Obama's priorities. It's one of the areas of concern for critics of President Trump's budget plans. In New York, I'm Lisa Brady on Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, thunderstorms start about 5:45 tonight, a low of 73. Thunderstorms continue into tomorrow, high 81, a low of 66. Friday, mostly sunny, high 82, low of 56. Right now, partly cloudy, 90, feels like 107 in Champaign-Urbana.
Let's clap. That never gets old. It just never gets old. It's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio, 93.5, Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner. Don't forget to tune in to our show this Thursday at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, major programming announcement. Thursday, 5 o'clock, right here on ESPN 93.5. As always, you can listen online at ESPNCU.com or stream on our app. It's WSJK.
Yeah, we're not joking. This is going to change things.
It is.
This isn't just, I mentioned it yesterday. It's not like my wife's having another kid or anything like that.
Right.
I guess I would have another kid too, but she would be carrying it.
Right, she would be carrying.
That's not happening.
Have the kid.
That's not what we're announcing.
No, because I think sometimes with our goofiness and our humor, maybe people think, oh, they're going to do something, and it's going to be like Harry Black gave us another jersey to hang. Right. But it's much more important than that. So it is something that you definitely want to be tuned in for this Thursday, 5 o'clock.
We're going to talk at 5 o'clock today with Kevin Fishbane, ProFootballWeekly.com, about the Bears, and Chris Raby, KMOX at 5:25 to talk about the Cardinals.
Let's talk now to one of our favorites, Mark Tupper, Decatur Herald and Review. You can follow him on Twitter at Mark Tupper. Tups, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing good, Lon. How are you doing? Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Tups, I saw you up at Big Ten Media Days. Yeah. How do you approach that thing, Tup?
Well, I go up there expecting to hear a lot of spin, a lot of optimism. Nobody's lost a game. Nobody's lost a player to a training camp injury. It's usually a pretty cheerful moment. I usually go up there also just trying to gauge who's being square and who isn't. I thought Lovey did a good job, actually. That's not his thing the way it is. Somebody like P.J. Fleck, who we saw this year for the first time at that function. But I thought he was good. I thought he was genuinely more comfortable, not only in his role as one of the Big Ten head coaches, but simply with his roster. I mean, when I thought back on it, as I was contemplating it, last year that poor guy sat up there and was trying to talk about a football team he didn't know.
He didn't know anybody.
Not really. I mean, they've come a long way in that time, and now when he speaks about players and they need a lot of things to go right for them for this season to be better than expected. They're still operating with a really thin roster, but I can kind of see it. I think the thing that I continually thought about as I was listening to him and players is, this year as opposed to last year. This year we'll have a chance to get a better gauge on the coaching staff, on how much they can coach guys up, how correct are they in putting them in the right positions, how correct are they, at least in some cases, and they still don't have many of their own recruits, but they have some. How correct were they in their identification of these guys as players that can fit their scheme and so forth? So I'm going to be starting on Monday when we go over to training camp. I'm going to be evaluating the coaching staff as much as I am the players.
Interesting.
Mark, you hit on something. Obviously, press conferences, that's not Lovey's thing. We knew that in Chicago, and I joked with him before he took the podium again the second time, where it's just us kind of at a round table. I said, are you in heaven right now? And I think he's been better with us than I thought he would be. But how much does it matter? Because, David Jones writes a great column. It's a fun column.
Right.
Ranking the Big Ten coaches, how they do at Big Ten Media Day. And Lovie Smith was last. He just feels like Lovie might not be in love with being a college coach, and we've heard those rumors before, but how important is it to have a coach up there that is like Fleck or is like James Franklin?
I don't know how important it is. I mean, I know what he's talking about. I don't think it's that he's uncomfortable being a college coach. I think that he's never enjoyed the media aspect of it. I think he feels like he was treated unfairly in Chicago, and that the treatment he got contributed to a dismissal that he didn't think was justified. So I think there's that. I don't think he has a lot of trust. He may be starting to build a little of it with some of us as he realizes it's a little bit of a different show in Champaign than what he dealt with in Chicago or even in Tampa Bay. But I do think it can be important. In fact, I just was a little bit ago, I was watching the trailer for the Being PJ Fleck reality show that's coming up on, I think it opens on ESPNU. And you know what? That's a hell of a deal for him and for Minnesota. I mean, you talk about getting publicity. Remember what Illini fans, they went nuts last year when Lovey landed on ESPN, for 2 minutes or whatever, or 3 minutes or whatever it was after he was hired. They thought that was just great, and I'm not saying they were wrong because it's good exposure, but for a guy to get a reality show, he's going to have a chance to really show some things and present Minnesota football in a way it's never happened before. Now the question becomes, do players run toward him or do they run away from him? Because he is so over the top. He can scare you a little bit with his act. And I don't mean act, I guess, because I think that's just genuinely who he is. But, I mean, he's at the one extreme. Lovey's at the other extreme. I think in the end, it's going to matter a whole lot more about whether or not he wins games than, whether or not he gets up there and juggles or tells jokes.
That's brilliant, Tubbs, that you localized that, because I think if that was Lovie Smith or an Illinois coach on ESPNU doing a series, I think Illinois fans would go nuts over that. I wouldn't. Remember
Big Ten Network did the Journey? They followed him for a season.
Exactly. And I taped every one of those and watched that, so that was awesome. Mark Tupper, our guest, Decatur Herald and Review. You kind of went to PJ Fleck, a guy I was kind of going to ask you about, but you had, I thought, Mark D'Antonio, I thought he had some really good things to say. Of course, Jim Harbaugh, I never know where he's going. You've got your Urban Meyers. You've got some new coaches. Did you take anything away from just all the other coaches at Big Ten Media Day?
Well, this reminds me of a couple years ago when it was Tim Beckman's last Big Ten Media Day. And I was alarmed because whether you like it or not, you have a chance over 2 days to compare all of them to one another. And when you see Urban Meyer get up there, when you see Mark D'Antonio get up there, you're talking about guys who are really corporate CEOs. And if you happen to be a fan of one of those teams, you're proud to have them as the guy who heads your football conglomerate, if you will. And then Tim Beckman got up there, and I thought it was so embarrassing. And I'm not going to rehash all of it, but I just thought you can't present your program in this way on that big of a stage. It can't happen. And so part of my feelings about Lovey in a positive sense are Lovey at least stands up there, looks the role, sounds the role. He may not go for jokes and humor, but you're talking about a guy, and you can't ignore this, who was an NFL coach for a long while, a winning NFL coach who went to the Super Bowl. And the other thing with Lovey was, and I'm probably off track here on your question, Lon, but, Lovey made a point about, I do know a little bit about what can happen in year two, and he didn't overplay that card. But, you go back and look with the Bears, and he was 5-11 his first year, and his second year he was 11-5, and his third year he was 13-3 and went to the Super Bowl. So he knows that kind of how this goes, and now I think it's time for us to see whether some of these things that happened for him at the Bears and that he maybe does have some insights into can happen at Illinois. I'm not talking about them winning a championship this year, but I'm talking about them being better than and more competitive than I think a lot of people are giving them any credit for.
Well said.
Yeah, there was a lot of, like they said, everybody's positive. Everybody's going to go to the Big Ten championship. I look at this roster, Mark, and I see 8 seniors. I see 13, 14 juniors, right? And they lost some good talent to the NFL. DeJuan Smoot, Carroll Phillips, Hardy Nickerson on that defense. I think Chase Crouch is exciting on offense. I think there's some excitement on that offense, but I don't know. Like I don't think I'm going to predict them to have more wins than last year. I mean, what are your expectations?
The problem is that even if you want to go through their starting lineups on both sides of the football, the plan begins to fall apart so quickly if there's injuries.
Right.
And there's almost always injuries. And, Lovey thought made a good comment when somebody says, what do you want to see from Chase Crouch? And he said, well, I want to see a guy that learned how to slide. And I thought, well, that's exactly right, because the whole offensive structure changes if he goes down again, and now we go back to Jeff George, and that's not a slap at Jeff George. It becomes a completely different dynamic on offense if that one guy gets hurt, and you can go through the offensive line. And I think there's a components there to have a decent offensive line if everybody stays healthy. Mm-hmm. And as soon as one person gets hurt, a key guy gets hurt, Nicky Allegretti rolls an ankle. Oh, yeah, they don't have the guys you can plug in, which many of these other programs have. Defensive line, you're right, they lose a lot of guys who they really counted on last year. And I see guys that maybe could help them, maybe. But again, there's no depth. There's no plug-in guys. And before you know it, you're starting to look at many of these positions. Before you know it, you're starting to look at true freshmen. You're looking at Owen Carney, and you're looking at Carmoni Green, and you're looking at I don't know. Are we going to see Lewis Dorsey play tight end? I don't know. I mean, there's just you don't on an Ohio State roster, you don't get to freshmen unless they were like the number one player in the country at their position. You don't even talk about those guys.
He's Mark Tupper, Decatur Herald and Review. You can follow him on Twitter at Mark Tupper. So give me maybe 3 guys, Mark, that you're most excited to see in camp. I can imagine I know one of them.
Well, I would probably be inclined to go to guys that we don't know a lot about. For instance, I think Nicky Allegretti's really good, but I feel like I know a little bit about Nicky Allegretti. So, I won't have my eyes on him as much as I will. I'll give you 3 wild card guys, okay? Kenyon Jackson on the defensive line. Defensive line, to me, is just the most critical position.
No doubt.
In my opinion, just because James Crawford. See, I think James Crawford could be really good, but I don't know if he's big enough. Jalen Dunlap told me he's at least 240 pounds. Well, that could be anywhere from 225 to I don't know what,
Right.
So I want to see him. I want to see him play there because I know one thing, he can run, and he's fast. He could be way quicker on the edge than somebody like Carroll Phillips, but he's not played that position much, and so I'm anxious to see someone like him. All eyes on Mikey Dudek.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's face it. I mean, we all are in love with him, and we haven't seen him for 2 years except frowning and sweating and moaning, and so I want to see this kid run around and catch a football. I know that they're going to kind of limit him and so forth, but just to see him get through the first week healthy and and smiling again, to me, would be worth the price of admission there. So I don't know. Those are some guys. Yeah. I'd hoped we'd be talking about Dwayne Lawson, and that won't happen. I'm not sure it'll ever happen, but certainly won't happen this fall.
Tubbs, last one for you. I think Jeremy especially has been preaching this, and he said people will get tired of hearing you say it.
Yeah.
You got to have patience with this team and this program, obviously. And I think most Illini fans understand that, Mark. You deal with a lot of it. I don't mean deal in a bad way. I mean, in other words, you converse with a lot of Illini fans. They send you messages and emails and such. Do you think this Illini fan base can be patient with Lovie, understanding that this is really his first year with his recruiting class and that there are only 8 seniors and 13 juniors? I mean, do you think this Illinois fan base, me being one of them, can stay patient with this, or is it something where we're going to get a little nervous as we go along and say we want this now?
I think it's hard for them. I think they've been asked to be patient for a long time.
Great point.
And with both football and basketball, and they've heard this word before. And Josh's definition of patience is be patient, but come to the games, okay? Mm-hmm. And I think some people will be patient and say, well, I'll be patient, but call me when you have got a product that I can go and watch win games. They don't want to attend during this process. And Josh really needs them to attend from a financial standpoint. I mean, those empty seats in Memorial Stadium are killing him. Mm-hmm. And he knows that ultimately the answer is we have to have a better product, we have to win games. But I think he's hoping that more and more people will say, part of the price of being a real fan is to come out and buy those tickets. I'm skeptical if that will happen if they don't win a few more games. I think people are kind of at the breaking point with that.
Mark Tupper, Decatur Herald and Review. Excellent stuff. Follow him on Twitter, @Mark Tupper. Always appreciate hearing your voice, Mark. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Okay, buddy. That's Tubbs. Good stuff there. I mean,
and Tubbs answered that 3 people he's looking for really well. I'd like when we come back to give ours.
Okay.
Because I was just going through my head. I mean, and I almost want to keep it non-freshman.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're all
true.
excited to see Ricky Smalling and,
I agree.
and Bobby Roundtree
I agree.
and Larry Boyd, but I think it's those veterans who are probably going to play roles that you didn't expect them to play, that maybe we don't know their names all that well.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
He said Kenyon Jackson. I loved him at camp last year.
You loved him last year, yeah.
James Crawford's an interesting one.
Switching roles, right?
Yeah, I mean, he turns into that situational pass rusher that Carroll Phillips was last year. He's gone from safety to linebacker to defensive end in his career at Illinois. Think about
crazy?
That. Yeah.
That is crazy. The other caveat I want to put on this, we can't say Mikey Dudek.
Okay.
Is that
I agree
fair?
with that.
Because I think we all...
Or Dre Brown.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because of the injury factor.
And it sounds like Dre's still got a ways to go.
Okay. And he got engaged.
Did he really?
I saw that on Twitter.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he got engaged. So what a personable, super nice young man when he came in and visited with us here. So congrats to him. But yeah, I think we all agree we want to see Mikey Dudek. We cannot wait to see Mikey Dudek. So we will give you our 3 each when we return. If you want to weigh in on your 3, you can do that on the Chief Bauer text line 359-2255.
2 came to mind immediately for me.
For you, 1 came to mind for me.
Because I've barely seen them play.
Okay.
Even though they're veterans that they're counting on a lot this year.
Okay, this will be interesting. I'm anxious to hear both of our... that's funny I say I'm anxious to hear mine. Like I should already have mine in place, but I don't. It's the Tay and J Show.
Home is where the art is. It's where every day begins and ends. It's a place for big occasions and small. Home is where stories unfold and where they are told. We may leave, but we always come home again. First Financial Bank can help you achieve the home of your dreams. Talk with one of our friendly loan officers and we'll help you find the loan that's right for you. Consider it our way of saying welcome home. From First Financial Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, is now open at their new location at 1602 South Neal Street in Champaign. Stop in and check brand new styles at the corner of Neal and Kirby across from McDonald's. Game Day has new looks to head back to school for the men, women, juniors, and youth. Plus, Game Day Spirit has a huge selection of buy one, give one free Illini shirts for the whole family. Shop Game Day Spirit on Green Street at their new location at 1602 South Neal and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Go Illini.
You're always welcome home at the end of a busy day at Platinum Award-winning Comfort Suites on Lincoln Avenue in Urbana, rated number 1 on TripAdvisor. All rooms are suite style with a sitting area and pull-out sofa. Enjoy their 24-hour indoor heated pool, spa, and fitness center, full hot breakfast buffet daily, and a complimentary light evening meal Monday through Wednesday. Comfort Suites also offers a group and airport shuttle, and they're pet-friendly. You'll always be welcomed at the end of your day at Platinum Award-winning Comfort Suites. Call 328-3500 to reserve your overnight stay today. 328-3500.
It's Lante from ESPN 93.5, and whenever I need work done on my car, I go to Long's Garage. No, not Lon's Garage, Long's Garage in Urbana on Main Street, just east of Schnucks. From engines and brakes to new tires, you can get a variety of auto maintenance assistance from the experts at Long's Garage Complete Auto Service. And this summer, beat the heat and come into Long's Garage for an AC check. Since 1941, Long's Garage has offered expert repair services. Visit them today at 503 East Main Street in Urbana, just east of Schnucks.
Hey, can you smell that?
Smell what?
The hot and buttery locally grown sweet corn.
Oh yeah, the Urbana Sweet Corn Festival is coming on August 25th and 26th. Have you heard about all the exciting changes this year?
No, what?
They're partnering with downtown Urbana bars and restaurants for amazing drink specials.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just grab your souvenir sweet corn cup for $6 and pop onto any bar to grab a beer or mixed drink.
So I can go to my favorite downtown Urbana bar and grab a vodka soda and then go dance to the boat drunks?
Yeah, and when you need to take a breather from all your jazzy dance moves, we can stop at the festival beer tent and fill up your magical cup before grabbing a piece of corn and playing some cornhole.
So let me get this straight. We can go to any bar and get any drink and go anywhere in the festival with that drink.
Yep.
Roaming around with a drink in my hand at the Urbana Sweet Corn Festival never tasted so good.
The festival is proudly brought to you by the Urbana Business Association, City of Urbana, Bud Light, Illinois American Water, Eastland Sweets, and this station. For more information, visit urbanasweetcornfestival.com.
Protecting your home and family, you better have a plan. Keep them safe from harm with the home alarm from F.E. Moran. Home invasions are on the rise all across the land, but they'll think twice when they see the sign for F.E. Moran. Don't wait till it's too late, it's time to make a stand. Call 877-FE Moran. F.E. Moran. Alarm.
From buyers and sellers inspections before the sale, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. We also provide radon testing with results back in 48 hours. From Champaign to Savoy and Gifford to Gibson City, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Duracon from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days, mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Proverbs 19:17 says, "Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done." Give to a local charity today. Preserve your treasure in heaven and not on earth. God will bless you with eternal rewards you cannot measure. This message brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist.
The Blossom Basket Florist. The florist you pick.
Diane Ducey here to tell you about Mobile Meter. When I'm playing taxi to my kiddos, I no longer have to worry about parking tickets and loose change. I downloaded the Mobile Meter app to ease my parking frustrations. You should download the Mobile Meter app today. It's available on iTunes, on your phone app store, or at mobilemeter.us.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkman with the 430 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think their car insurance costs more, but with discounts up to 40%, you may find it even costs less. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood in Champaign, Illinois at 217-367-1105 today. Harrison Bader had his big league moment in the bottom of the ninth of a tie ball game against the Colorado Rockies last night. Bader hit a double and then would eventually score the winning run off a Jed Jerko sac fly. The Cardinals win against the Rockies 3-2. Cardinals play tonight, and it's Jeff Hoffman versus Carlos Martinez. Game time is 7:15 on our station.
Sweep, baby, the sweep.
That would help the Cubs a little bit.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
This is where Carlos, and I know I love the kid to death, so don't be fretting at me, Warner. This is where he is the ace tonight. Go out, get the sweep, get it done.
All in that blue hair, right?
Yeah, what is that? Get some red tips to that thing.
Respect the game.
No doubt.
He wants to be a Cub. That's
That's the end of the update. Good job.
Speaking of the Cardinals, John Morosi is reporting the Cardinals will listen to offers on outfielders Tommy Pham and Randall Grichuk. In other trade deadline news, the Cubs are reportedly involved in Seth Lugo, the righty, and backup catcher Rene Rivera, both from the Mets. Bob Nightingale is reporting that the Cubs remain the most interested team in Justin Verlander, but his contract is a stumbling block. Tigers could find more takers this winter. Cubs have reinstated Brett Anderson from the 60-day DL and then DFA'd him. Anderson was 2-2 with a 5.6 ERA in 5 starts for Smokies baseball, the AA affiliate of the Cubs.
What is Harry showing over there?
What is he doing now?
Tim Beckman pictures.
It'd be hard to be a professional when he's doing that.
Oski.
Oh, man. All right, thank you, Austin. All right, Champaign County Fair, it is going on right now. Man, you couldn't have asked for better weather during this fair with it getting a little cooler at night. So tonight is Wednesday, I believe, right? So motorcycle racing tonight at the Champaign County Fair. Tomorrow night is 4-H and Youth Day. I think Friday's Chris Young. US 105.9, they're going to present Chris Young. Cannot wait for that. But tonight, motorcycle racing at the Champaign County Fair. Plus, they have all the fair food, all of that. So make sure you get out and support and have some fun at the Champaign County Fair.
Favorite fair food?
You've asked me this, and I'm not a fair food guy.
You're not a deep fried guy.
I'm not. I honestly, cotton candy would be what I would.
That's a fair food.
Okay. It would be cotton candy.
We go to the Indiana Lake County Fair every once in a while. Tiff's family goes there a lot, and they have like any kind of food you'd ever want, like kebabs. Of course, corn on the cob might be one of mine.
There's some in the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
Do you know who brought that?
No, I don't.
It is. I mean, I cannot wait to go out and pick corn on the cob.
My mom would go with an elephant ear or a funnel cake.
Yep.
Corn dog is pretty high on most people's list.
Never been a corn dog guy. I love hot dogs. Well, I wouldn't say I love hot dogs. I like hot dogs.
Do you like pancakes?
Yes, but I don't like the combination.
That's basically what it is.
I know. I wouldn't want to wrap a pancake around a hot dog.
Dip it in mustard.
Right. Ketchup.
Yeah.
I'm a ketchup guy.
Let's see. What else would there be?
I don't know.
And there's like chocolate covered frozen bananas.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes. Like stuff like that.
Yeah. Now that I'm just not very good at being,
You're not a foodie.
No, I'm just set in my ways. And it's boring. It really is.
You like your plain Jane burger.
As Andrew Tay would say.
You are boring.
That's,
That's a 4-year-old
I know,
Andrew.
don't get me going on that again. I think that was, can I do it one more time? He's 10 now.
You asked Andrew in an interview.
Yes.
After Illini football camp.
I said, what'd you think of that? How fun was that? You know, your dad got to interview I think it was Zook, right?
Yeah. No, it was Beckman.
No, it was Beckman. I'm like, your dad got to interview, and I said, what'd you think?
You are boring.
I was boring. Oh, that makes...
No, you weren't boring.
No, bowing.
Oh,
that breaks my heart when I hear that.
Now he's bossing you around.
I'm glad.
Sending you Snapchats.
Yeah. Can I say what I'm doing tonight?
Sure.
So I'm coaching the 5th and 6th grade basketball team of Andrews this year. So this is Lon's, I've coached travel ball before. I've coached youth sports before, but this is actually a school affiliated event. So, I can't get technicals. I can't be mean to kids, or their parents. I have to play kids, and make sure that parents aren't mad that I'm not playing their kids. So tonight I'm doing my first open gym. And we are allowed to do these. You can do open gyms. Now, I can't coach in them, but I can hold open gyms, essentially babysit for an hour and a half while kids shoot until practice starts. So we're doing our very first one tonight.
It's like NCAA rules.
Right. I assume someone from the IESA comes and double checks to make sure we're not doing anything wrong.
Of course they do, because they got that money.
Right. They've got
IESA money.
All the coaches are like at Holy Cross. All these coaches around are like, I'm going to go make sure Tay didn't do anything wrong. So here we are tonight. Like, Andrew's been in Colorado, so he's flying back to Chicago, and I'm thinking, all right, he's going to be here for Wednesday. So I told our athletic director, can you push open gym from Monday to Wednesday? I want Andrew to be there. Now I find out he's spent the night with my brother in Chicago. He's taking the train back right now, so he's not even going to be at the first open gym.
Yeah.
So my kid, right off the bat, is not at the first open gym. So
Good example, you said.
He sends me a thing, and he says, so if I don't make it back for open gym, can I still play with friends tonight? That was his question to me, and I said, sure. I said, open gym isn't mandatory. And he said, what does mandatory mean? And I'm like, ask grandma. That'll give you guys something to talk about on the train. So Andrew is worried that he's missing his first open gym. I say he has to run double the laps that anybody else does the next time.
But it's voluntary.
It's voluntary.
That's like the rookie mini camps.
But is it really voluntary if it's your kid and you're coaching? Is it really voluntary to him?
I mean, you set the rules. So.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's voluntary. So if anybody wants to come tonight.
But you can't coach him.
I cannot coach, which is going to be kind of weird.
Can you tell him, like, hey, you should do this?
I think I can I think the word I used was mildly lead them and, like, maybe, you know what would be cool, guys, if you guys learned how to shoot layups. You know, something like that.
You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to.
You guys can keep playing knockout or whatever you're doing right now.
Got to stay within those IESA rules.
And I don't want, since I'm airing it here on the radio, but,
Can't get those secondary violations there.
If I said, boy, it'd be cool if you guys learned how to dribble with your left and right hand and did some dribbling drills. But no, I won't do that, of course, until practice. But I can't wait. I just can't wait to coach a bunch of 5th and 6th graders. See me in a week.
Lack of institutional control over there. Today's team. Hey, later today, we are going to do another edition of Wheel of Games brought to you by Game Day Spirit. Your chance to win great Fighting Illini prizes. Visit Game Day Spirit. They're the official fan store of the Fighting Illini. You can visit them on Green Street or on South Neal or online at GameDaySpirit.com. Today we have a big prize.
Okay.
It is the Darren Williams bobblehead.
Oh.
So we are giving away a Darren Williams bobblehead.
How did I know that was not in there? And why is that not
later
gone already?
on today? We will give away the Darren Williams bobblehead. So be paying attention to that.
Sweet.
For later on in the show. Okay. So we teased it, and I asked Mark Tupper this question just kind of off the top of my head, and I think it's kind of interesting.
I do too.
Which non-freshman, non-Mike Dudek Illini are you most interested to see or hear about during training camp?
Okay.
So, Lon, let's hear your list first.
Okay, here's my list. It starts with Gabe Megginson.
That's a good one.
Now, I do, like Mark, think that this offensive line can be markedly improved. Is that the correct term to use in that situation? I think this offensive line has some ability to be pretty good. To the term of, at the end of a game, you're like, well, the O-line played well. Kendrick had some holes, etc. Chase was able to stay up, etc. So Gabe Megginson, in my mind, this is his 3rd year, right? Now, he's a redshirt sophomore, if I'm correct. But this is his 3rd year. Yeah. It's time. You came in as a 4-star recruit, and you were a recruit that Ohio State wanted, that a lot of people wanted around the country. Now is the time that I want to start seeing it. I understand that it takes some time, and that's why we think about these freshmen that could make have impacts. I mean, Gabe Megginson's a perfect example of you better hold off on that a little bit.
Gabe was a 4-star recruit at Ohio State, all these big-time, Nebraska, all these big-time offers. If you're counting on Larry Boyd to be a big-time contributor,
right?
I think you're asking too much. That's why I think Doug Kramer, even though he's undersized at center, was probably a more reliable, realistic option as the 5th offensive lineman.
Would agree. So for me, Gabe, I'm ready to see.
He's got to.
Not that he did horrible last year.
No, he had flashes where he was like, oh, I see it. It's the mental aspect of the game. The upside is most redshirt freshmen struggle as offensive linemen. Because it's just a quicker game. There is no bigger change, I think, in the game than as an offensive lineman, both in strength and in the mental aspect of the game when you go from high school to college.
Would agree.
Because in high school, you can just dominate people.
Yep.
You're so big. I know most of these guys are athletic when they're big-time offensive linemen that gets you the Big Ten. So they're just dominating people on their pure size. Most of them aren't refined. They don't know much about technique. And then the mental aspect of the game where you actually have to think about it.
Right. That's exactly right.
In dynamic offenses, Nick Allegretti is one of the smarter guys on the team. He's going to be a CPA.
Yeah.
Right? So he's a smart kid. He was a strong kid.
Yep.
He struggled as a redshirt freshman.
Crazy.
Couldn't even start. His sophomore year, he's probably the best offensive lineman on the team.
Which is awesome. And that's why that's the progression I want to see Gabe make. Next would be on the defensive line, Jamal Milan. I loved this kid coming in, and I'm ready to see Jamal Milan kind of take over. I'm not saying he's not going to dominate. I need to see him stay healthy. That would be big.
Well, Harry could probably tell you this. He had some practices in training camp where he can
He can dominate.
He's got the physical ability to do that.
Well, that would be awesome, and Illinois needs it. They need somebody to step up and be like, wow, I had no idea that guy was going to be that good this year, and that's the reason we're playing for a 6th win against Northwestern at the end. I know I'm dreaming there. So Jamal Milan would be my second. The third is Patrick Nelson at safety. I thought he showed a lot last year. I think, and you know, this is something funny that you've heard me say this 100 times. It's kind of like my rebounding mantra in basketball. I don't think you can have a successful football team without a good safety, and I want Patrick Nelson to be that guy. I also like the other safety, Stanley Green, but I think Patrick Nelson is a guy, like you reminded me during the commercial break, he can play the run, and Illinois is going to need that. Yeah. Now, I don't want to see a lot of games where Nelson racks up 17 tackles. Like Fedge, because that means...
I think Nelson had a 15 or 16 tackle game. I think it was Nebraska.
So when that happens, that means they're getting through Jamal Milan and they're getting through Trey Watson. But at least he is stopping him. That's true. But I think for me, Patrick Nelson and kind of that safety group in general, that's going to be another kid I look at.
I think Nelson and Green, I don't worry about them against the run. They hit hard.
Yeah, they do.
They got to make some plays, though.
Okay.
You got to force some fumbles. Green did that last year. They got to get some interceptions. They got to get some takeaways. Need more playmaking in that secondary.
Amen.
So that's where Dunlap, Cameron Watkins, guys like that will really need to step up. My 3, number 1, Sean Adesanya.
Okay.
He's going to be a starting defensive end most likely.
And we don't know much about him.
He's been here. This will be his 3rd year at Illinois.
Wow.
He's never played a game.
Wow.
Never played a game because of injuries. He had a neck injury, and then I believe it was an Achilles injury last year. So this is a kid that we haven't seen, but he looks the part. He's 6'3", 245, one of the strongest kids on the team, and runs about a 4.7, something kind of 40. So there's athleticism there. There's strength there. He's learned from some of the best. When Carroll Phillips and DeJuan Smoot. They need him to play.
Yes.
But I've never seen him play.
Isn't that funny? If he was coming...
I saw him in camp with some drills, but I haven't seen him scrimmage or play in a game.
If he was coming in as a freshman right now and you just told me all of that, I'd be like, oh, I can't wait to see that. He's actually in his 3rd year now, so hopefully he has the weight, et cetera, to be able to make a difference.
Yeah, he's a man.
Okay.
Right? So he's 22 years old.
I like that.
Number 2, a newcomer, but he's a veteran. Delshawn Phillips.
Yes.
He was injured most of the spring. So we really didn't get to see a good look at him.
Okay, linebacker, right?
Linebacker. Had great film at the JUCO level. Scout had him as a top 15 JUCO prospect in the country. Is a big-time playmaker, hits hard, has pretty good speed, pretty long.
Like it.
Trey Watson's a good linebacker.
That's my boy.
You need somebody else there.
Yes, you do.
And Trey and Delshawn can both play the two linebacker positions that are always on the field, middle and the weak side. And those are the two most important, two of the more important players on the defense for Lovie Smith.
I like it.
I'm interested to see what he is because we didn't get to see a lot of it during the spring.
2 defenders so far.
Number 3 is an offensive player. Adam Solomon.
Oh yeah.
You talked about Megginson, who's probably the 3rd guy on that offensive line with Christian DeLauro and Nick Allegretti, longtime starters there. But Adam Solomon is kind of the 4th starter.
Boy,
he had a nice spring. He's a mauler of a run blocker.
He's a big kid,
He's
right?
a huge kid.
Out of Indy.
Yeah, looks like a Wisconsin run blocking offensive lineman, which they kind of want in the scheme.
Yes.
Not great footwork.
Okay.
Pass blocking could be an issue for him. The technique things, and this will be his 1st year playing. He's a redshirt sophomore, came in with Megginson. I'm really interested to see how he does.
Okay.
Because he's going to be counted on. And again, you can't have any injuries at most positions on this team. Offensive line's a big one.
Amen. Who's the 5th starter on the offense?
I think it's Doug Kramer.
Doug Kramer.
Yeah,
okay.
I think Nick Allegretti stays a guard.
Would have been Dartley or Watkins,
or
maybe.
Kramer. Kramer.
Okay.
Kramer. Darte Lee was here in the spring, and Kramer was on the 1st string for most of the spring. They love Larry Boyd.
Yep.
Jordan Fagan has experience, but he's not that great.
Right.
So I expect Kramer. I would probably have Kramer, but maybe they fall in love with Larry Boyd.
Very interesting that we, out of 22 guys, we didn't have the same guy. We picked 6 out of 22 that were not the same guy. I had 2 on defense. You had 2 on defense. We each had 1 on offense and was an offensive lineman. Yeah. I think we know what to expect from Kendrick. I think I know what to expect from Malik Turner. I hope to know what to. Of course, we couldn't pick Mikey Dudek.
We could have put Chase Crouch there, but I think we know what he is.
Yeah.
We just got to stay healthy there.
Exactly.
Right?
That's exactly right. That is some good stuff. So if you want to weigh in, 359-2255. We do have a call on the Cheap Bauer text line. I'm sorry. No, a call on the text line doesn't make a lot of sense line. On the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line, and that's our buddy Brad Replinger. Brad is asking some Illinois questions. How you doing, Brad?
Hey, I'm good, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Right.
Although, to be fair, Lon, I did text into the show earlier about the broadcasting stuff. So I was on the Jupiter's the Crossing text line as well.
There you go.
So
There you go.
Don't feel too bad.
Okay.
Did you call into it?
Did I call into it? After I realized that I had already texted into it. Yes, of course.
Yes, that's awesome.
Which thankfully is the same line. You've made that very easy for us, so I appreciate that. And it's very fitting that we're on this topic, and I kind of talked with a couple people on social media about this, but I wanted to get your guys' opinions on this. As an Illinois football fan heading into this season, I feel like last year was the year of let's take a look at some of the individual talent that this team maybe has waiting in the weeds, like a Chase Crouch, like a Kendrick Foster, like a Malik Turner, where we can kind of take a glimpse into what this season's going to look like from an individual talent standpoint. Well, we had that season last year, and now we come into this season, and I guess as a fan, I'm kind of struggling coming out of Big Ten Media Days when you hear, Coach Lovie Smith talk about the processes that they're building and the steps that they're taking behind the scenes that you don't get to see. Well, as a football fan, yeah, I know wins are this tangible thing that we can determine a season to be good or bad based off of. But are there other things you guys are looking for, whether it be individual statistics?
Yeah.
Are you looking at an S&P rankings?
Interesting.
As a unit that would maybe enhance the viewing experience for fans this season? Or is it more based off of the, hey, like you said, hey, look at the Nick Allegretti, Christian DeLauro movement on the offensive line, or I'm a big Delshon homer this season as well, guys. I really think that him on defense at the linebacker position, he can get into the backfield. Lovey Ball talking lots of fumbles, interceptions, turnovers. I think Phillips is going to be a huge catalyst for that. So he's one of the guys that I'm looking forward to. But what else are you guys looking for this season that maybe fans can use as a reference point as to how this team is progressing towards potentially a postseason run or a postseason appearance next season?
All right, Brad, appreciate it, buddy, from TCR Podcast. We always appreciate that, Brad. Thanks for the call.
A few of them takeaways.
Yes.
They had 11 takeaways last year.
Does he still have the football takeaway thing in the – okay.
I mean, that's not a Lovey defense. You need to take the ball away because it's an aggressive defense. They're going to give up some yards sometimes to try and be aggressive.
Okay.
The defensive linemen, I know people got angry because they always went up the field, and that allows some big running lanes.
Right.
Well, they're trying to get to the quarterback, or they're trying to cause a lot of disruption in the backfield, but they need a pass rush to be able to do that,
No
and
doubt.
they need their secondary to make some plays, or their linebacker, like Delshon Phillips and Trey Watson. They're going to need to do that. Hardy Nickerson did that last year.
Yes, he did.
He led the team in interceptions with 2.
Isn't that crazy?
Right? You need some takeaways. That's how this defense operates. On offense, the offensive line was sneaky better last year.
Okay.
They were, I think it was tied for second in the Big Ten in rushing yards per carry.
Wow.
4.8.
I didn't realize
Right, so
that.
Corbin and Foster were pretty good. You added Crouch to that. I think this run game can take some big steps. I think they got the offensive line to be physical now. I think they've added some strength, but again, the depth is really scary there. But with Meganson, DeLauro, and Allegretti, I think you have 3, no doubt, Big Ten offensive linemen that would start most places, and I think Solomon's got that potential.
Okay.
And then Doug Kramer, you want to be serviceable, or Larry Boyd, whoever it is. You want that 5th guy to be serviceable. Explosive plays is another thing.
Okay.
You didn't have.
No, you didn't.
I don't know how many plays they had over 20 yards last year.
Wasn't many.
Wasn't very many.
I mean, it was Kendrick running.
Yeah,
essentially.
Kendrick and Reggie most likely, and then Malik had a couple over the top. You need some guys that once they get the ball in their hands can explode and get some big plays and switch field position.
You answered that perfectly. The one thing I want to say, and the one thing I'm going to be watching for this year is TOP, the old time of possession.
Yes.
Because I think the defense
crushed last year.
Yeah, they were crushed, and I think this offense should be good enough to control the clock.
Well, and you have a quarterback
that can get that 3rd and 1.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Or make it 2nd and 7 instead of 2nd and 12.
Amen.
Those are huge.
I think time of possession could be huge because that gives that defense a chance to not only rest, but kind of keep them off the field. If you know that's your weakness going in, now hopefully the defense will take that statement and say, well, we'll show you, Tay. We'll be the best, and the offense will struggle.
I remember during Big Ten play, it felt like 40-20 most of the year.
I agree. So time of possession for me would be the big thing to kind of keep your eye on. Yep, without a doubt. And turnovers are always huge. We know that as we go along, which is what you talked about. All right, 359-2255. If you want to call, you can call the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line, or you can text the Chief Bauer text line. As Brad mentioned, same number. We make it easy. 359-2255. If you're into spelling, that's 359-CALL. It's the Tay and J Show.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You buy Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Celebrate with 0%, 50,000 bonus points, and 5 times points. The University of Illinois is celebrating 150 years, and the U of I Community Credit Union is getting in on the celebration with this exclusive offer. Now through September 30th, open a new Illini Visa and watch the advantages roll in, like 0%. That's right, 0% on all purchases until May 2018 for qualified applicants. Plus, everyone who opens a new Illini Visa rewards card could earn up to 50,000 bonus points. Use those points to purchase trips, gift cards, electronics, and more. But that's not all. All reward card holders will earn 5 times points on U of I purchases. Apply for your card today at IlliniCard.org. That's IlliniCard.org. Celebrate the University of Illinois and get rewarded, because no one cheers louder for the community than the U of I Community Credit Union.
U of I Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are things Country Financial stands for. More than just an office you may pass by as you drive through town. Neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of our community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. Chat with your neighbor at Country Financial. Jesse DeHaan. Call 352-3466. Talk about things that are important to you and how Country Financial can help protect them.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
I'm Chris Drummond, owner of Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. Since 2006, we've provided the best professional carpet cleaning in the Champaign-Urbana area. At Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning, we use the Rotovac carpet restoration system to assure the best carpet and upholstery cleaning service. For just $99, we offer carpet cleaning for 3 rooms or 4 rooms at $29.95 per room. Google Drummond Carpet Cleaning and see what our customers have been saying, or call for a free estimate at 217-722-3663. Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. If we didn't clean it, it isn't clean.
Eat, shop, play. Explore Campus Town during 13 Thursdays with the Champaign Center Partnership. Take advantage of great deals like $10 off a $50 purchase and $20 off $80 purchase at Apricot Lane. Get a free water with every sandwich purchased at Einstein Brothers Bagels. $8.99 short sleeve t-shirts from the select section at the Illini Shop. Murphy's has half price appetizers from 2 to 8 p.m. Latte Bubble Lounge has 20% off house milk tea. AZIP Pizza gives you a free cookie and a 24-ounce fountain soda with any pizza purchase, and get an entree and a drink from Qdoba for just $7.99. 13 Thursdays, proudly sponsored by the Champaign Center Partnership. More details at ChampaignCenter.com.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons, 3 to 6, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It's true.
We had a texter into the Chief Bauer text line said, I thought the new Indiana coach sounded like Beckman 2.0 at the Big Ten Media Day. And the quote we had from him was a little Beckman-ish.
I don't think so. He's just talking about his Indiana roots.
I know, but it was, it was like, I was an Indiana coach, and he was an Indiana coach, and my dad was an Indiana coach, and all.
Because his dad coached?
Yeah, So I think you can
that's
see.
not even close.
Okay, well.
I mean, do we remember the things Beckman did?
But no, hear me out. So I could see.
Hey, it's for knowledge.
No, well, right. No, listen, I understand there's a world of difference between that dude and Beckman. But I could see if you were just kind of listening and you were trying to find one that sounded like him. And then what did Austin say about Beckman?
No, was that Harry?
Oh, no, it was Austin that said something about the team up north.
Yeah.
When Tim Beckman tried to make Northwestern this, public enemy number one, and I just started laughing.
The purple jerseys when they were injured, which are a lot of people injured.
Just hearing things like that, he was so overmatched to coach at this level.
Though Harry Black, who played for Beckman,
loved him. Loved him.
He did say a true fact, which facts aren't. They're true, right?
Right.
And not alternative.
Unless they're Hawks. Even Hawk.
Hawk facts and alternative facts are the same thing.
They're the same thing.
He came here, won 2 games.
Yeah.
With a team that should have won 6.
Yeah.
Next year, won 4.
Yes, he did.
The following season, he won 6 and got to a bowl game.
Boom.
Tim Beckman is probably the only coach ever at Illinois
to do that
who won more games than the year prior.
Wow. Won 2 more games than the year prior.
Every year he improved in his win total.
Isn't that amazing?
So that's a fact.
So we basically gave up on him because by now we'd be at 12 wins?
Yeah, I mean 8 wins last year with Tim Beckman.
We'd be 10 wins this year.
Yeah.
Way to go. Who got rid of
him?
Whitman. All of a sudden I was thinking Mike Thomas got rid of him.
Mike Thomas knew it. Mike Thomas did.
Yeah, he did because he brought in Cubitt.
Yeah, Whitman fired Cubitt. if they would have had Cubitt Beckman instead of Cubitt, they would have had 8 wins that year.
Yep.
I mean that he was a mastermind.
Listen, Harry's on to something here. If he just didn't abuse players.
All right. If he were not fired for that, would Beckman be gone today?
Yes. Oh, yes. But man, it would be fun. And I have to turn this over because I think this is what I think it is.
We're going to play this game for 60 minutes. If it takes 64 minutes or 68 minutes.
I just had to do that.
Do we have any more Beckman in
Yes, there we go.
We use the word Oski not just because of the word Oski or that it's a battle cry of the University of Illinois.
Okay, we got another one. Ready?
Our success equals the knowledge of being, the K, the knowledge of being. The E stands for effort, giving all out effort in everything you do each and every day. And then the last E stands for energy.
Yes!
Energy, being a positive influence on the people around you. Having that belief.
He was always out of breath.
Yeah.
Belief.
There's one more.
Every Thursday night to cook you lasagna. So I'll be eating lasagna for 13 straight weeks.
Oh, man. We lived that, and we knew it.
I got to thank Carp for those, by the way.
We knew that.
Oh. You know what? You know me. You and I are nice guys.
Yeah, but I got to know Tim a little bit. And I do think there's a nice guy in there.
There's no doubt.
I just think he's kind of like a 12-year-old.
Squirrely, kind of.
Yeah.
He's just kind of
all he's known is football.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And the moment you heard Matt Campbell was not coming here with him.
Yeah, then you...
I had one question at the opening press conference, and it was Matt Campbell. Because Matt Campbell's offenses are what carried Toledo. And then when you see only 2 Toledo coaches follow him.
Wow.
Golesh and Mike Ward.
Ugh.
And he invited most of them to come with him. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that tells you something.
They're going to stay at Toledo instead of come to Illinois?
And Matt Campbell, of course, now the coach at Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Tim just tried too hard. Like if he just would have come in maybe with a little bit of a Lovie Smith arrogance.
He was football-y.
He was too football-y.
He was very football-y.
Man, I tell you what.
He was high school football-y.
Can I just do that one more time?
We're going to play this game for 60 minutes. If it takes 64 minutes or 68 minutes.
I mean, I think that's great.
Would it take that long? Because overtimes aren't timed,
5
right?
minutes, right?
They're not timed.
Oh, they're not timed.
Right.
Well,
so where do you get the 4 and the 8?
I'm not going to try to.
I'm trying to get into Tim Beckman's mind here.
I was going to say, and you're asking me to go to that slope, and I'm not comfortable going there.
All right, coming up next, we'll get inside the mind of Kevin Fishbane, ProFootballWeekly.com. I think the intelligence is up a little bit.
Right.
We'll talk some Chicago Bears. Chris Raby, Cam We'll talk some Cardinals.
Can't wait to talk some Cardinals, man. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cardinals fan, Austin, so don't be staring at me. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, 3 guys went to the DL yesterday for the Cardinals, so I can't wait to talk to Chris about that. We'll do it all next hour. It's the Tay and J Show. Lasagna.
At Honda, we always look for ways to innovate. That's why we combined summer and celebration to create the Honda Summerbration sales event. You can combine 0.9% APR with the stylish Accord, a car and driver's 10 best a record 31 times. So hurry into your local Honda dealer for the Honda Summerbration sales event. It's amaze-tacular.
Car and Driver, January 2017. APR financing offers available for well-qualified buyers. See dealer for financing details.
Honda's introducing a new word, Summerbration. Use it as a noun, like, I picked up a 2017 Civic with 0.9% APR at the Honda Summerbration sales event. Or a verb, I'm summerbrating with KBB.com's Best Buy overall winner. Start your Summerbration today at your Honda dealer.
Visit your local Central Illinois Honda dealers today.
For more information, visit KellyBluebooks.kbb.com. APR financing offers available for well-qualified buyers. Offer excludes all hatchback models and Civic SI. See dealer for financing details.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
It was big, huger than huge.
Big would be an understatement. Wow, this is giant.
It's Rosati's Pizza's Big Deal Beginning of the Week sale. This Monday and Tuesday, the big, huge deal is coming your way. Score a 14-inch 2-topping thin crust pizza with a 2-liter for $17.10. Rosati's continues to celebrate their 10th anniversary with really large, big deals. A 14-inch 2-topping thin crust pizza with a 2-liter for only $17.10 at Rosati's Pizza. 701 South Gregory and online at myrosatis.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Repeal now, replace later fails. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News.
On this vote, the yeas are 45, the nays are 55. The amendment is not agreed to.
With that, the Senate defeats a straight repeal of the Affordable Care Act with a pledge to replace it in 2 years from now.
7 Senate Republicans joined every Democrat to oppose a repeal now, replace later approach endorsed by Kentucky Republican Rand Paul. A repeal and replace measure offered by GOP leaders also has been defeated.
I think we want to do as much as we can.
Republican Whip John Cornyn responding to a question about what's being called a skinny repeal, a possible compromise aimed at getting rid of the individual and employer mandates and the medical device tax. Any bill making it out of the Senate would also face a fresh debate in the House.
Fox's Jared Halpern just announced at the White House the company that assembles the iPhone in Taiwan making a huge investment in Wisconsin.
$10 billion, which will create 13,000 jobs in the state of Wisconsin.
Governor Scott Walker says Foxconn will build a plant to make electronic displays. The administration restoring a ban on transgendered individuals serving in the military. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal live with details.
UCLA's Williams Institute estimates as many as 15,000 transgender people are in the military, both active duty and reserves. President Trump tweeted today that due to disruptions and medical costs, they will no longer allow transgender people to serve. Layla Villanueva is a retired Army corporal who did 2 tours in Iraq and transitioned from male to female while serving in 2012 on her own dime. She's also in charge of an organization that represents other transgender service members.
The mission has not changed. You know, we still do our work. We have service members who are serving in vital roles in the military.
She says removing them is what would be disruptive, Jack.
Thanks, Jessica. Wall Street, more record high closing numbers. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, all in uncharted territory. I'm Jack. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Home isn't just a place, it's a feeling.
that you're safe to enjoy the things that matter most. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Whether you're at home, your business, or online, we help keep you safe. With security systems, home automation, alarms, and surveillance, so you can feel at home wherever you are. Go to ADT.com to get that feeling for less than $1 a day. ADT. Home. Safe home.
I'm Dana Lash with NRA Carry Guard. I carry my firearm every day. I pray I'll never be forced to use it. But if I do, I know NRA Carry Guard will have my back. I can choose up to $1 million in insurance-backed protection, plus a special attorney referral network to give me the representation I need. Learn more and sign up today at nracarry.com or call 1-866-NRA-1234 to become an NRA Carry Guard member today.
Get that laptop or tablet out of your carry-on. The Transportation Security Administration stepping up checks on larger electronics at U.S. airports.
10 airports around the country, including LAX, Logan in Boston, Phoenix Sky Harbor, and Boise, are setting the pace, now asking passengers to place all electronic devices larger than a cell phone in separate bins. TSA agents will also help passengers organize bags for optimum screening. These procedures will be standard in nearly 300 airports in more than 100 countries in the coming months to help offset increasing air travel threats. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Ohio has put a child killer to death. 43-year-old Ronald Phillips was given a lethal injection today for raping and beating to death his girlfriend's 3-year-old daughter in 1993. Her half-sister, Renee Mundell, says they waited a long time for justice.
There was no reason for our family to have to wait 24 years. We fought and we lived with it for 24 years, and we'll live with it for the rest of our lives.
Phillips used some of his last words to apologize to the family. Texas plans to execute convicted killer Ty-Chen Pryor tomorrow night. Richmond, Virginia, police have shot and killed a man carrying an axe and a long knife, wearing only a kilt and combat boots as he walked around downtown Richmond. Police say the 23-year-old man was shot when he refused orders to drop his weapons and instead attacked them. Criminal threatening charges have been filed against a man in Walterboro, Maine, walking around wearing a clown mask with a machete taped to the stump of his amputated arm. 31-year-old Corey Berry telling police it was just a prank. Vehicular manslaughter and drunken driving charges filed today against 18-year-old Obdulia Sanchez in Fresno, California. She was recording a video of herself driving drunk, police say, when she lost control of that car and rolled it, killing her little sister. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can follow them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, thunderstorms likely to start at about 10 o'clock tonight, a low of 72. Thursday, thunderstorms, high 82, low of 66. Friday, sunny clear, high 82, a low of 56. Right now, sunny clear, 90, feels like 105 in Champaign-Urbana.
Normally we have drive time right now.
So this segment is brought to you by Honda BMW Champaign.
I like it.
For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash and Savoy, or follow them online at drivechampaign.com.
All right, it is time, though. We are going to bring on the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line and talk. We're talking football today, talk some Illinois football. Visited with Mark Tupper, Decatur Herald and Review, his thoughts on the Big Ten Media Day. Well, guess what? Bears camp has begun.
Woo!
Oh, my goodness. I know Jeremy's fired up. Not really.
Bears camp, man.
Yeah, it's Bears camp. It's
NFL. I'm ready for the NFL.
Well, our guy is Kevin Fishbane from ProFootballWeekly.com, who joins us now. Kevin, it's been a while, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, boys, the summer is over. It's the first day of school, and I'm already, looking for some new places in Bourbonnais. There's a Firehouse Subs across the street from my hotel. I have to check that out.
Nice.
So,
I think they got a new Chipotle. They got a new Chipotle in town?
Yes, right next to the new Chipotle.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at that.
See?
I mean, that's all.
Bourbonnais, sprawling metropolis there.
Right. You got all your notebooks and your pencils and pens ready to go, right, for this camp?
Oh, pretty much. It's Yeah, I mean, well, for one thing, now that I know I could eat a Chipotle after practice, I think that I will say a common media theme is that we are no longer allowed to eat in the dining hall, which has kind of been a common thing for the reporters for years. So the Chipotle presence does actually carry some importance.
Okay, I like it.
Now with some of the new policies.
This is the big news at Bears camp right now.
Yes, it is.
Because this is not a team anybody expects to do anything this year, Kevin. As a Bears fan, I'm not excited. It's taken some of my excitement out of the football of NFL right now, but Ryan Pace and John Fox met with the media today. Always intriguing when John Fox talks to you guys. But were there any huge takeaways from that?
Not a ton. I'm really curious tomorrow to find out who is starting the camp on the PUP list, because Ryan Pace was pretty confident that they might not even have anybody on the PUP list, and why that's important. That would mean that Danny Trevathan could be ready to practice sooner than later, which would be pretty remarkable because he tore his patellar tendon in November, and that can sometimes be a 10 to 12-month recovery. And he's obviously extremely important to this defense, so let's just say I feel like if Trevathan definitely would be starting the PUP list, we would know that by now. Zach Miller, Kyle Long, Jeremy Langford, other guys who could be on the PUP list. So when we find that out tomorrow, that'll be interesting. But Pace seemed kind of confident that the team is healthy. And obviously, as you guys know, injuries were the biggest story from last year. They're changing camp up a little bit. All the practices are at 11:15 this year. No early morning practices. There's a rest day that's kind of factored in for some of these guys to help with their recovery. So the Bears doing everything in their power to avoid last year's calamity in terms of all the injuries.
I will give Ryan Pace this. He drummed up some intrigue for me as a fan when he drafted Mitch Trubisky. And I know the trade up, we've talked about that ad nauseum, but they add Mitch Trubisky. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there going, okay, that is something I'm going to watch the next 3 years, for better or for worse. But how long before we see Mitch Trubisky on the field?
That's the ultimate question, Jeremy. It's why they pay you the big bucks, my friend. It's going to be really fascinating to see how this season goes, because I don't think anybody's picking this team to win more than 6 or 7 games. So if you're John Fox and Ryan Pace and you're looking at a 5-9 team and it's Christmas Eve and the Cleveland Browns are coming to town and you're George McCaskey and you're thinking about all those photos that I tweeted last year of the empty seats at halftime of those December games, you got to imagine that the organization would prefer Mitch Trubisky be quarterback for those 2 games in that scenario. So that is going to be kind of the give and take. Now, if you're John Fox, you're trying to win as many games as possible to save your job. If you're Ryan Pace, you want Mitch Trubisky in at the exact perfect time that is going to be best for his development. So it's very possible, guys, that over the next 3 weeks, this might be the most we really see of Trubisky in live situations, and obviously the preseason games all year. If Glennon holds the job and the Bears play well, but as I said, if come December this team is not good. I'll say this, Jeremy. You mentioned kind of the intrigue that Ryan Pace created, and I love that. Not just I love that for the fans. I love that selfishly as a writer, because last year in December when things were falling apart and it was the Matt Barkley show, I know some people got excited about that, but I'm sitting here being like, we're talking about Matt Barkley.
Yeah, not me.
Okay, nice guy.
The 49ers apparently were, but
yeah, made some nice fourth quarter comebacks in deficits that he partially created. It was a nice story, but now, you're not expecting this team to be good. They get to December, you have something to look forward to. You have something that can kind of be a story, and that being Mitch Trubisky.
He is Kevin Fishbane, ProFootballWeekly.com. Follow him on Twitter at KFishbane. You mentioned John Fox. I thought it would have made sense if Ryan Pace knew he was going to draft a quarterback and he was locked in on one, that he could have done a coaching change. I feel like it's almost a wasted year if Fox does get fired and then they go find their offensive coordinator guy or quarterback whisperer. How hot is that seat for John Fox?
It's scorching, I would say. Actually, in one of our upcoming newspaper inserts for Pro Football Weekly, Hub Arkush wrote about coaches in the hot seat, which he always does to start the year. And John Fox is right up there when you look around the league. For him, he's 9-23 right now through 2 seasons. He's got 2 years left on his contract. And you got to imagine if they're, 5-11, even 6-10, you have to wonder about his future. And Ryan Pace is pretty safe. He's got his quarterback. So, a bad season would potentially give Ryan Pace and Bears management an opportunity to change head coaches, because this obviously wouldn't have worked. I mean, but the flip side of that, and somebody actually asked John Fox a question today. They said, John, do you think that you've been given a playoff roster? Because that's something we'll really never know, how John Fox feels about the fact that his general manager had the number 2 pick in the draft and got somebody who's not supposed to play this year. And with the pick in the second round, got somebody who played in a Division II football. Wow. And in the fourth round, got a guy who broke his leg last year, and then a guy who played, for North Carolina A&T. Not necessarily loading up talent for John Fox to use right away. Mm-hmm. So that is, going to be one of the big stories to watch all year long, is that give and take between the two, who maintain that they're doing great and they support each other all the way. But you can't ignore the obvious and how their opinions could differ on the future of this franchise.
Follow Kevin Fishbane on Twitter at KFishbane. I know we have tons of Bears fans. I know they're frustrated, but certainly Kevin will give you the details each day. All right, on that offensive side, you got to have somebody to throw to. Alshon Jeffrey now gone. Kevin White. We've sat here for 2 years waiting for this kid to make an impact. Injuries have played a huge role in that, obviously. What are you expecting out of Kevin White this year? Obviously, health depends. I mean, that's the biggest question, right?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing is, can he play a full season? I think you start there. And it's unfair to him to expect, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, 80 receptions. That's just not fair to a guy who's played in 4 games in 2 years. He's on to his 3rd position coach. It's a new quarterback. This is going to be his 2nd full training camp. It's just not fair to expect big things from him. That said, the Bears are really happy where he's at. I asked Ryan Pace today, how cautious they're going to be with him, because I believe, and I'm not a doctor, but I believe that Kevin White should practice every single practice if he's healthy. That I don't think he's the type of guy you give a day off to. Because he needs that development. And if he needs a day off because of his leg, then you got a question about his leg or his ankle. So, and Ryan Pace said, no, he's good to go. He is fine, and we're not expecting for him to have any days off that are out of the ordinary. And I think that's important for Kevin White and the Bears. I think I've been saying, a 50-catch, 800-yard, 700-yard season as maybe the number 2 receiver just to kind of get his feet wet could really open the door for big things next year if all those tools that the Bears saw a couple of years ago are still there.
How much will we learn about Pace this year?
Well, we're going to learn about him, I guess, and as far as what he might, how hands-on he'll be if things start going awry. What role would he have if he wants Trubisky to come in or whatnot, and looking at some of his draft picks and getting them on the field and some of the guys he's signed. The previous regime, the Emery Trestman, the glory years, as I like to call them, those guys, they didn't necessarily always play the best players at times, I think. They didn't really foster a whole lot of good position competitions, and these guys do, Pace and Fox. So I think it's something to look forward to.
How about on defense? Could this be a good group, one of the, I don't want to say best groups because I feel like the offense is going to put them in some bad situations, but Vic Fangio is definitely been a bright spot for this staff.
He has, and he's been a bright spot for us in the media too, because he's got good answers, unlike his boss. But he is in a good spot this year. You look at outside linebacker, right? That's where the Bears have put their most money and their highest draft picks. Leonard Floyd, Pernell McPhee, Will Young. As of now, Lamar Houston's still on the roster. They're 4 deep in good pass rushers. You look at the D line. Akeem Hicks potentially could be getting a contract extension today. Drew Rosenhaus reportedly is in the area in Bourbonnais, although he might be checking out that Chipotle too.
Right.
Eddie Goldman, they are so excited about what he can do if he stays healthy. They bring in Jay Howard. Talked about Trevathan earlier, Jarrell Freeman. That front 7 is loaded relative to what the Bears have been over the years. And if those guys stay healthy, I think this is a top 15 defense. Now, there are questions in the secondary, but you follow the money in the NFL, right? You follow the high draft picks. The Bears invest in the front seven. They count on those guys up front to help create turnovers and big plays for the back end. Okay, the safety, it's going to be a competition like it is every summer here in Bourbonnais.
Sure.
They got the 2 new starting cornerbacks in Marcus Cooper, Prince Amukamara, which is an upgrade from where they were at this time last year. So they're excited about those guys, but that front seven is good enough to put this defense and combine with Fangio and what he can do as a group that's in the upper echelon of the league.
Kevin, last one from me. Right now in Chicago, you've got such an interesting dynamic with all these sports teams. You've got a Bulls team that's kind of wilting away now. We don't know what's going on there. You got a White Sox team that's regenerating itself, right?
And we're all excited about it.
Right. You got a Cubs team that won a World Series and looks to maybe add a couple of pieces to get back to one. You got the Hawks are always the Hawks, although the last couple of years have been disappointing. Where do the Bears stand right now? I mean, I know Bears fans show up, and it seems like the Bears can rule that city. Until last year. So will this, I mean, do you see any kind of a rebound there, or what's it going to take to get that back?
Well, Juan, I have to remind you, I don't know if you know this, but the Bears won the Super Bowl in 1985.
Yes! So I was old then.
every day is 1985 in Chicago.
Good call.
For some people. But that's a great question. I've talked about that a lot with people. I put the Bears slightly ahead of the Bulls just because I think people have more faith in Ryan Pace than they do in Garpack.
Yeah.
I know I'm setting the bar low when I'm talking about the Bulls front office. But see, I was actually talking to a buddy today, and he was talking up the Bulls rebuild. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. Are you more interested in what Lauri Markkanen, Chris Dunn, and Zach LaVine can do, or are you more interested in Mitch Trubisky, Jordan Howard, and Leonard Floyd?
Great call.
I mean, I think you got to take the latter.
Yep.
And I think you can make a legitimate argument that the Bears, if you take maybe their 8 best young players, and you look at that through the prism of what the White Sox are doing, you can make an argument that Ryan Pace is building something here that could be competitive one day. I think you look at, I always tell people when you watch the Bears this year, watch Kevin White, watch Leonard Floyd, Jordan Howard, Cody Whitehair, Kyle Long, Dane Trevathan. These are the guys that are going to be here if this team is good in a couple of years. Those are the guys to watch. Those are the guys to focus on. And there's a decent group of them. It's just we haven't seen enough of them because of injuries and poor quarterback play. But I think the Bears have something. They're still certainly, but I would probably put them behind the White Sox right now.
I agree.
Just because of the types of guys the White Sox have brought in. And we have to remember, too, about this Trubisky. I like Trubisky. He was my favorite quarterback in the draft. I'm not a scout, though. There are a lot of people who have questions about Trubisky.
Okay.
There are a lot fewer questions about a Yohan Moncada, and you go through some of the top prospects. So, I think that's kind of where the White Sox gain an edge in the Chicago sports power ranking.
Kevin Fishbain. Well, I mean, he's the jack of all trades. He just went off on all the teams, and I loved it with all the names. Kevin Fishbain, ProFootballWeekly.com.
Godspeed in Bourbonnais, Kevin.
Well, and I should say, by the way, guys, I will put Northwestern basketball number 1.
Oh, that's right.
Well, there you go. There you go. I love it. Kevin, thank you, buddy.
All right, take care, guys.
All right. Kevin Fishbain beating that Northwestern drum.
Proud Northwestern.
No doubt.
Oh, he hit it on the head. I think it's Cubs. Like, it's usually always Bears won.
Yes.
Right? They're the most important team in that town. I think the last couple of years have beaten that out.
Yeah.
The Cubs win the World Series, they're 1. The Blackhawks always in contention.
No doubt.
They're 2. And I would say excitement level. Yeah. I think White Sox fans are a little bit more excited than Bears fans. I would have the Bears ahead of the Bulls, though.
Okay.
The Bulls are in for maybe a half a decade of terribleness.
It's amazing. And I had forgotten, honestly, and you kind of reminded me during the question, I had forgotten the Bears fans stopped showing up last year.
Oh, it was terrible.
Because a lot of times when you watch the Bears, I'm just like, man, look, that place is still packed. But it wasn't last year. So, I think give a little bit of the Cutler, that kind of stuff.
Well, he wasn't even playing at the end of last year.
But I think they were just tired of everything.
Yeah, it's just a bad team to watch.
Really is.
There's no excitement.
Is Ryan Pace?
No, he's got time.
He's fine.
And especially drafting the quarterback. I think he should have time. What he took over, but I don't think John Fox is the guy long term.
And I thought that would be a good hire.
We all thought.
For the Bears.
But it was coming off the worst hire in franchise history.
Without a doubt.
Saying something.
Whose daughter was hot. according to Mike Carpenter.
Chris Raby talks Cardinals coming up next.
Understanding the basics of budgeting, saving, and monitoring money doesn't always mean you're in control of your spending. Here are 4 reasons why you break your budget from Busey. Forgetting the future. You leave emergency savings for emergencies only, please. Instead, make room in your budget for discretionary expenses. Reward yourself too often. Scale back on impulse purchases and save money ahead of time. Mixing mood with money. Sometimes we spend money when we're happy and positive, when it's easier to remember long-term financial goals. And that bad home equity habits. Don't think of your home as a piggy bank. Be smart with your home equity loan or line of credit. Only borrow what you really need. Regain control of your finances with Busey. Visit Busey.com. Call 1-800-67-BUSEY or stop by one of their many convenient locations today. Busey, member FDIC.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, is now open at their new location at 1602 South Neal Street in Champaign. Stop in and check brand new styles at the corner of Neal and Kirby across from McDonald's. Game Day has new looks to head back to school for the men, women, juniors, and youth. Plus, Game Day Spirit has a huge selection of buy one, get one free Illini shirts for the whole family. Shop Game Day Spirit on Green Street at their new location at 1602 South Neal and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Go Illini.
Why drive to Key West when you can enjoy the new Tiki Bar and Patio at Daly's Sports Bar, 116 West Washington Street in Philo. With 9 flat-screen TVs and the MLB package, you can take in your favorite team's action live. Daily drink specials Wednesday through Friday evening from 5 to 9 p.m. Enjoy the Daly's Outback Food Wagon on the patio featuring special burgers, sandwiches, shrimp baskets, fried and grilled cod, nachos, tacos, and cheesy fries. Now through August 25th, enter to win a trip to Las Vegas with $100 cash drawings every Friday. There's no purchase necessary to enter and win. Co-sponsored by XL Entertainment, Illinois' most chosen terminal operator. Play slots and win some cash at Daly's, featuring the latest and hottest slots. Come in and play slots, have a blast, some great food and drinks, and hit the jackpot. Be sure and enter for your chance to go to Vegas now through August 25th with $100 cash drawings every Friday at Daily Sports Bar, 116 West Washington in the heart of Philo. Must be 21 or older to play slots. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. It seems like in every home, there's at least one room that's either too hot or too cold. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. Mitsubishi Electric has your comfort solution. Mitsubishi Electric cooling and heating systems are up to 40% more efficient with no ductwork and whisper quiet. Individual room control, giving you the freedom to find your perfect comfort level and save money too. Make your whole home comfortable again. See Lance Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for your comfort solution and live better.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Lands is your local Mitsubishi Electric Diamond dealer. Our technicians are experts at solving your comfort needs, one room or your whole house. Let us show you how a Mitsubishi Electric Heating and Cooling System can save you money now. Your comfort is our priority. Call Lands today at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
If you have nothing to smile about, schedule an appointment today at Angel Smiles Dental Center in Rantoul. Turn your frown upside down and show off those beautiful teeth. We all have unique smiles, and we know what it takes to maintain those smiles. After all, a smile is like a personal signature, whether young or old. Maintaining your beautiful smile has never been easier with a visit to Angel Smiles Dental Center. From fillings, crowns, and root canals to dental implants and braces for kids and adults alike, Angel Smiles Dental Center in Rantoul will serve your entire family for all of your dental needs in all stages of life. Angel Smiles accepts the medical card for most services. For those children 20 and under, they accept a number of insurance plans, and they have an in-house dental plan to help people who have no insurance at all. Angel Smiles Dental Center is waiting to see you. Schedule a visit today at Angel Smiles Dental Center in Rantoul. Visit angelsmilesdentalcenter.com. That's angelsmilesdentalcenter.com or call 892-8868.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday mornings 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner.
Reminder, we're going to give away a Darren Williams bobblehead from Game Day Spirit. It's part of their Wheel of Games that we do a couple times every week. Game Day Spirit, we'll get it on Green Street, on South Neal, and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, proud sponsor of the Tay and J Show and the official fan store of the Fighting Illini. So a Darren Williams bobblehead. Awesome. You'll be able to win, possibly, in this segment.
Just saw the Game Day Spirit. They've got their new location right across from McDonald's there on the intersection. So good stuff there. All right, it's time to head to the Jupiter's The Crossing phone line. Bring in one of our favorites, Chris Raby, KMOX. Chris, there's a lot going on in St. Louis right now with injuries, with call-ups, excitement about Harrison Bader. But last night, I loved your visit with Will Leach. Nothing better, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, he's the best, isn't he? And always fun when Will comes to town, and he's so passionate about the Cardinals. But the thing I love about Will is that he doesn't hide that, and he's built incredible sports writing career, and he also writes about business and politics. But one thing he does so well is baseball, because baseball is his first love, and we love having him here. And didn't really get into the Illini hoops yet with Will, but always fun to have him around and see Will and his dad. And yeah, they were 2-0 while they were in town. So
I love it.
Matt Toonboy, not very far from Champaign-Urbana.
Absolutely.
In our listening area. Chris, this is an interesting time. I mean, we'll get into the Bader and all this, but the Cardinals sitting there just 4 games back of Milwaukee and just 3.5 back of the Cubs. But we're sitting here saying they might sell. I mean, what is it like to be around this team right now, which is this kind of unfamiliar territory for them recently?
Yeah, it is. And they're playing really good baseball over the last, couple of weeks, I think. I know that the series in Chicago, they ended up dropping 2 of 3, but I thought they played really well. Obviously, I think that the game on Saturday, Wainwright pitched well, and we find out he's dealing with a bit of a back. So, whatever way that goes, I'm certain the Cubs felt that if not for a fluky 8th inning, maybe they get all 3. But I thought it was a good series. So you're right, it's kind of weird. And I think the reason it feels so different is because even though you're only a couple of games back, you're chasing the Cubs, and the narrative, at least from a media standpoint, has been, well, at some point, the Cubs are going to pull away. So maybe because you're chasing the team that everyone expects to pull away, it feels different than last year when you were chasing a couple of teams that were all in the wild card race, and you weren't even thinking about the division. So I think that's why it feels a bit different, and obviously because they've never really ever been sellers. Now, I still caution people from using that word. I think the last time we talked, I talked about Bill DeWitt saying, listen, we're never going to sell. We're always going to try to improve. And in some situations, you may be able to improve by sending out a short-term asset and trying to get a long-term asset back. Maybe you deal from a position of strength or another team's position of strength, like the Marco Gonzalez for Tyler O'Neill trade, or maybe you do something moving forward. But, you're right. Usually at the trade deadline, we're talking about improving the team. And if you're talking about moving pieces, it's minor league guys that haven't really been up helping you. And this year, there could certainly, I suppose, be guys from the big league roster and guys that have been around here for quite some time that other teams will be inquired about.
What do you think the timeline of this thing is? Because I've talked about it with Lon. I think this is a team that in 2019 could be really, really good. Have Alex Reyes fully healthy. You got some of those prospects who are down in A, who are really high potential guys, maybe making their way up. And you'll have spent money, and I believe Mozeliak will make that big move this offseason. But that's me. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think they could still be good the rest of this year, and maybe that's just being close to them and seeing them play so well and seeing the way that they played down the stretch last year. But certainly, I think that if you were staring down the barrel of missing the playoffs for a couple of years and you want to call that like a mini reset or a mini rebuild, I think that the clock's been moved up on that, at least in the short term, because of some of the contributions they've gotten from guys that have already come up from Memphis, whether it's Paul DeYoung or Luke Voigt or now Harrison Bader or Magnera Sierra.
Right.
Some of the pitching that's come up. Why couldn't that team do next year what the Brewers have done this year? Maybe that team can do the rest of this year what the Brewers have done to this point this year. But I think that the interesting thing about where this team is and where this team has been over the last 5 or 6 years is that they never, especially this year, have been afraid to bring someone up from within the organization and give them an opportunity and then leave them there if they produce. A couple of years ago, when they made their run in 2015, I guess it was, and then lost to the Cubs in the first round of the playoffs, Stephen Piscotty was not on anyone's radar at the beginning of the year to make the club. I remember, speaking of Matt Toon, I was there with Stephen on one of our caravan spots, and people were, I think it was when we were in Champaign, too, Lon, and some of the questions, the Q&A, people were like, when are you going to make the big leagues? And he ended up not only making the big leagues, but being single-handedly one of the main reasons that they had so much success down the stretch. So maybe we'll still see that the rest of this year. I think that, these next couple of games against the Rockies and the Diamondbacks, the two teams that everyone's chasing in the wild card, could have a lot to do with that. But, I think it's hard to try and forecast when a team that is in the midst of, I don't even want to say rebuild because it's not that, just kind of in the midst of never being afraid to implement new guys in, how that team is going to look 3 weeks from now or 3 months from now or at the beginning of next year's spring training. So not to kind of sidestep the question, but I will say that I think one silver lining of an otherwise fairly frustrating season to this point has been some guys coming up and looking like they belong in the big leagues that, again, weren't really in the mix at all to make the club out of spring training.
Chris Raby, just a couple more minutes with you. KMOX, you can follow him on Twitter at @CRaby. That's CHRABE. So many things to talk about. The Bader kid, all these new kids coming up, Grichuk, and all of a sudden getting hot. How will Carson Kelly work at the majors with Yadi Molina? The one thing you probably get sick and tired of hearing, because I get tired of hearing it from people, is Mike Matheny. It's been a topic all year about Mike Matheny and how he manages this team, and is he on the hot seat, and is he not, etc. What are you hearing down there, Chris, with regards to Mike Matheny? I keep hearing things of there's no way he's going to be gone. I know we've got a lot of season left. We've got something that could turn around, and obviously then everybody would be like, we're fine with that. What do you hear on Mike Matheny?
Well, he just signed an extension, right?
Right.
So, that's about as much security as you can get. I think it was fairly telling when Mo said the day they announced some of the shakeups and when they announced the release of Johnny Peralta that nobody should feel safe. So it's a performance industry, right? But at the same time, I think that it's easy for fans to pick on a manager or a hitting coach and maybe not pay as much attention to some of the actual players who are underperforming and weigh the coaches' factor in that versus the actual players' factor in that. So I know you can nitpick about Mike, and you can certainly point out a strategic decision here, a strategic decision there, especially when you're juxtaposing that against Joe Madden. But I don't know if there's not a rain delay last year and Aroldis Chapman ends up losing that game for the Cubs. Maybe Joe Madden's under some heat this offseason. So the fact of the matter remains, it's a performance-driven industry. Mike Matheny has, in a small sample size, one of the most successful track records that any manager has put together over the course of that sample size in Major League Baseball. And, an ownership group and a management group that I still think wants to give him every opportunity to win with this club, and I believe he'll have that.
Well said.
Chris, two guys who have maybe overperformed our expectations, Tommy Pham and Michael Wacha. Of those two, which season do you buy more? Like that will continue the rest of their careers?
It's a good question. I guess Wacha, just because we've seen it at the big league level. Right. Tommy has just been unable to stay healthy, and when you get to his age, at some point, if you can't stay healthy, you can't stay healthy. He's done it, and it's been great this year. I think the thing about Waka that I buy, and maybe it's just because he is almost the perfect representation of this team over the last few years. Goes through stretches where he looks incredible, goes through stretches where you bang your head against the wall, goes through stretches where he's on the disabled list. And that's over the last few years, really since he came onto the scene in 2013 and 14, what he's gone through. It's been great stretch, then injury, then great stretch, then injury. And I think the reason that I buy what Waka has been able to do is because as much, or I should say as little information as there is about what he has dealt with in his shoulder, there was an aggressive approach taken this offseason in first the weight room in Texas with the trainer who worked with Brandon McCarthy. Then in spring training where he changed his routine in between starts. He didn't throw the day after a start. He never had a setback. He never missed a start, and he looked incredible. And then this year, where they've been very open to adjusting things on the fly, they've been very open to giving him extra rest, and I think he's been very open to saying, I just need to trust what this organization is putting in front of me to try and keep me on the field. And because of that, he's been on the field, and he's been really, really good. And you know, that's a weapon to have at the back end of the rotation. So I think that because of the fact that we've seen him look as good as any pitcher in baseball, especially in 2013 when he came up, and then in the first half of some of the previous seasons, the fact that they were very, very proactive in trying to say, all right, how can we bottle that up and then make sure that we're in the best position to get that all year, we've started to see that. So, again, still a long way to go. And with an injury like that, there are never any certainties, but I buy it when he says that he feels as good as he had in years. And, you know, he's obviously trusted in the organization's plan concerning rest and days off that they put in front of it.
Got to let you go, Chris, but I know what a moment last night for Harrison Bader. That had to be fun to be at the ballpark for that.
It was cool. It's always so cool to, especially, you know, going on some of the caravans like we do,
right,
and getting to know some of the younger guys and being down in Jupiter for a couple of months, to see guys come up. And I was actually in the clubhouse when he walked in yesterday to see the reaction from his teammates and his coaching staff and, you know, guys like me that have gotten to know him. And then to see his family be able to make it here. I don't know if you guys caught the story, but his dad just happened to be in town from New York in Memphis to watch him yesterday.
Nice.
So he got the call from Stubby Clapp at 10 a.m. and said, there's a car service coming to pick you up at 10:30 and drive you to St. Louis.
Oh, cool.
So he grabbed his dad and went and met him for breakfast and told him in person, pack a bag, we're going to the big leagues. And they rode together in the back of the car to St. Louis. His mom and sister flew in from New York, made it, you know, just in time for the game. And then, you know, we're there to watch it. And then we're standing down in the first row, and he was doing some on-field interviews after the game. So that's incredible. Really, really cool to see. Cubs have had those moments over the last couple of years. That's the mark of a really good organization, when you get to celebrate a lot of those moments, because it means you're doing things right. And,
amen.
You know, hopefully for the lifeblood of this team, they continue to get to celebrate a lot more of them.
Unbelievable information as always. Chris Raby, KMOX. He's the pregame, postgame. No, you know it. You know it. And you follow him on Twitter at Chris Raby, at CHRABE. We'll be listening tonight, my friend. Let's get the sweep with Carlos.
All right, boys. Talk to you later. Thanks
all right,
so
buddy.
Much.
Chris Raby, good stuff there, KMOX. Always love talking Cardinals baseball.
All right, we are going to give away right now through the Chief Bauer text line a Darren Williams bobblehead via Game Day Spirit. You can visit them on Green Street, their new location on South Neal, and online at GameDaySpirit.com. Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini. So there you go.
Yep, here we go.
Got a trivia question. First one to text the correct answer to 217-359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. Again, this is a text message question.
Not a call.
A text message question.
Because Austin will be doing an update and not able to answer the phone.
Darren Williams played in 11 NCAA tournament games in his time at the University of Illinois. That is not second. That is not first. Who has played the most NCAA tournament games in Illinois basketball history?
Neil Bresnahan.
First one to get it at 217-359-2255. 359-2255. Text the correct answer to 217-359-2255. You will win a Darren Williams bobblehead.
Sweet. It wasn't Levi Cobb?
No.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with the 542 Sports Center update presented by State Farm agent John Kaywood. At State Farm and Home and Auto, work as a team. You score time and money. Call State Farm agent John Kaywood at 217-367-1105 today. Harrison Bader had his big league moment in the bottom of the ninth of a tie ball game against the Colorado Rockies. Bader hit a double and then would eventually score the winning run off a Jed Jerko sac fly. The Cardinals won against the Rockies 3-2. Cardinals played at night, and it's Jeff Hoffman versus Carlos Martinez. Game time is 7:15 and is on our station ESPN CU 93.5. Bader is batting 7th tonight. Speaking of the Cardinals, John Morosi is reporting the Cardinals will listen to offers on outfielders Tommy Pham and Randall Grichuk. In other trade deadline news, the Cubs are reportedly involved in Seth Lugo, the righty, and backup catcher Rene Rivera. Both are from the New York Mets. Bob Nightingale is reporting that the Cubs remain the team most interested in Justin Verlander, but his contract is a stumbling block. Tigers could find more takers this winter. The Cubs have reinstated Brett Anderson from the 60-day DL, and they DFA'd him. Anderson was 2-2 with a 5.60 ERA and 5 starts for Smoky Baseball, the AA Cubs affiliate, giving up 14 earned runs on 34 hits, 9 walks over 27 and a third innings pitch. The experiment is done. The Cubs and White Sox play the first night game of the Crosstown Cup. They play at 7:15. It's Jake Arrieta versus James Shields. Listen on US 105.9. Sorry, Rom. That's why this is the first night game.
Is it?
Yeah, of the Crosstown Cup because Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you said Lon. Hey, Austin, we still don't have a winner.
Yeah, we do not have a winner for our trivia question yet. It seems like a simple question.
I know, but it's a great question.
Which
I got it wrong twice.
Has played the most games in the NCAA tournament during his career. And this is basketball, of course.
You want to give a hint?
He played in this decade, or this millennium.
Okay.
Since 2000. So he was not a player in the 80s.
Is there anybody you want to say it was not?
It was not James Augustine, and it was not D. Brown.
Okay.
I've whittled it down.
I was
going to
say that's it. We can't say anymore.
Yeah.
We did just have a guest though for Sean Harrington. He will be so excited. Oh, I got Austin's mic on.
Sean is on the list. He's tied with Darren Williams with 11.
Is he really?
Yeah. Warren Carter, Darren Williams, Brian Cook, Sean Harrington.
That is awesome. 359-2255. Keep them coming in. We'll have the winner hopefully when we return. It is the Tay and J Show.
Looking to renovate your kitchen or bathroom? For over 30 years, Kitchen, Bath, and Cabinet Company has been Champaign-Urbana's #1 showroom for all your kitchen and bath needs. From design to installation, Kitchen, Bath, and Cabinet Company combines years of industry experience with excellent customer service. Check out their solid surface quartz and granite countertops, plus a wide range of fixtures and cabinetry. Call Kitchen, Bath, and Cabinet Company at 352-1900 or visit online at kitchenbathandcabinetco.com.
Diane Ducey here to tell you about Mobile Meter. When I'm playing taxi to my kiddos, I no longer have to worry about parking tickets and loose change. I downloaded the Mobile Meter app to ease my parking frustrations. You should download the Mobile Meter app today. It's available on iTunes, on your phone app store, or at mobilemeter.us.
Alto Vineyards has long been a leader in the Illinois wine industry, winning over 700 awards in national and international wine competitions in the last 20 years. Now, Alto Vineyards, along with SJ Broadcasting, present Music Among the Vines, East Central Illinois' premier summer concert series, held under the stars. Stop by Alto Vineyards each weekend throughout the summer and indulge in Illinois wines, premium beers, soft drinks, and light food items, all while experiencing the best music the area has to offer. For more details, visit altovineyards.net or call 356-4784.
This Saturday at Alto Vineyards Music Among the Vines, blues lovers will enjoy Candy Foster and Shades of Blue. Don't miss Candy Foster and Shades of Blue, Saturday at Alto Vineyards Music Among the Vines. Then be back on Sunday for the sounds of Katie Flynn from 2 to 4 p.m. at Wind Down Sundays. Get more details on both of these shows at altovineyards.net.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
The Urbana Park District presents Neighborhood Nights all summer long through August 9th. Please join us this Wednesday night, July 26th. We'll be at Larson Park, and jump, blues, and swing music is on the menu from Bruiser and the Virtues from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And we want to thank our sponsors, Stevie J Broadcasting, Shambana Moms, First Federal, the Urbana Parks Foundation, and CUMTD. For details on this program and other Urbana Park District activities, go to urbanaparks.org.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Are you sure you're on track to reach your retirement goals? Wondering how much money you'll need to last your lifetime? Whether you are retiring in a few weeks or a few years, we can analyze your needs and create a plan that's right for you. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Partnerships built on trust. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Lands is your local Mitsubishi Electric Diamond dealer. Our technicians are experts at solving your comfort needs, one room or your whole house. Let us show you how a Mitsubishi Electric Heating and Cooling System can save you money now. Your comfort is our priority. Call Lands today at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
Pekin Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at PekinInsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at Facebook.com/Pekin Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Pekin Insurance on Facebook today.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Protecting your home and family. You better have a plan. Keep them safe from harm with the home alarm from F.E. Moran. Home invasions are on the rise all across the land. But they'll think twice when they see the sign for F.E. Moran. Don't wait till it's too late. It's time to make a stand. Call 877-FE Moran. F.E. Moran. Alarm.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
All right, hurry, watch the stream right now. Oh, man.
I've never seen someone get so excited over a jingle.
It is amazing.
As Harry Black
and
does with F.E. Moran.
All love the jingle, but yeah, it is true. Hey, we have a winner.
Finally.
Of our Game Day Spirit trivia question.
Got to be honest, I don't know if I would have gotten this one either. So here's the top 10 most NCAA tournament games played in Illinois basketball history. Sean Harrington, Brian Cook, Darren Williams, and Warren Carter tied with 11.
Okay.
Nick Smith and Rich McBride tied with 12. They're tied for 5th. Roger Powell, Dee Brown, and James Augustine tied for 2nd with 13.
Wow.
And finally, Brady Nelson from Philo.
Yes,
got
congrats.
the correct answer, and everyone seems to forget this guy.
Yeah, they do. I do.
Even though he statistically was the leading scorer on this team, right?
Right.
Luther Head.
And
the reason he has one more than James and D is because he played on that team that got to Notre Dame, right?
That's right, Sweet 16, whereas Augie,
James,
they lost second round to Washington and Brandon Roy.
Right.
Yeah, so isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
And we do, though. We totally forget Luther Head. And was he undervalued on that team?
I mean, he had the case for Big Ten Player of the Year, didn't he?
Yeah.
But did they split it that year? Was it a three-way split?
Oh, boy, I don't know. Didn't he hit the game winner at Purdue as well?
He was unbelievable.
He did so many things right. It's unbelievable. All right, we appreciate that, Brady. Congratulations. Somebody just guessed Sergio McClain. So somebody actually guessed, what was the earlier one? Brandon Paul. We were like, wait a minute. I'm not ripping on you because I don't get them right either.
4.
I was going to say, I think he only played in like 4
games.
Not very good there.
Big Ten Player of the Year in 2005 was D. Brown.
Okay.
They gave it to D.
All right.
I think the team MVP, they split 3 ways.
Did they really? Okay, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I remember that eerie feeling the next year when D and Augie and that team lost to Washington in round 2. The eerie feeling I had come over me of, uh-oh.
That's it.
That was it. That was the run. And it was tremendous.
I mean, from 2000 to then?
Yeah. I mean, all the stuff that I covered under
7 seasons.
Self and Kruger but I really honestly had this eerie feeling come over me of that's it.
Yeah, because you were turning your best players were what? Rich McBride
and
Warren
Jamar
Carter.
Smith, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, he never
Sean
came back.
Pruitt.
Yep, Sean Pruitt. And you just felt like, oh, boy, it's the end.
All right, so Lovie Smith was at the Cubs game, I believe, on Monday night because Big Ten Media Days was Monday, or it was a Sunday night. I can't remember. But he and Joe Madden
awesome.
got to see each other, and they know each other from their days in Tampa.
Right.
And obviously now both being in the state and Lovie being a coach in Chicago for so long, these guys have gotten together a little bit, and they were mic'd up a little bit. Illinois had their film people there, and they had a microphone live. So here's the interaction
I can't wait to hear
between
this.
Lovie Smith and Joe Madden.
Good to see you, man. You're looking good now.
Hey,
what have you been doing?
Trying to live a little bit longer.
Is it diet or is it working out or both?
Working out both.
You look good, brother.
Same
Seriously.
here, man. Same here.
Very good.
So we're pulling for you each week. Keep
Thank
doing your
you.
thing,
I didn't know
man.
you were here. Nobody told me you were here. I'd have been earlier. How's the missus? Is she here too?
Missus is great. Maryann's doing good. How about Jay?
Jay's doing wonderful. The college situation to me is always interesting because the college, the campus life, going to work on a campus, that's got to be kind of...
no, not really. The players, Joe, they do everything you ask them to do when you tell them to do it. So that's all been great. We'll turn it around.
Good for you, man. You look great. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
All right.
All right,
I will do it.
Thank you.
All right.
What are you doing? You throwing something out or you just hanging
No,
out?
I'm...
Singing national anthem?
No, the starting lineup card is what I'm doing.
Okay,
So,
all right. Enjoy yourself.
all righty.
Celebrities doing things normal people do.
I love it. Yeah, right?
Hey, how's the wife? How they doing?
How's Jay doing? That's awesome.
How's college?
Isn't that funny? Yeah. And Madden's like, I bet that's kind of interesting, working on a college campus. I loved what Lovie's response was there. You know what? They're good kids. That they do what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool. That is so cool. And Lovie, I don't know.
That's the one thing about Lovie is he's got these kind of connections to where Peanut Tillman comes down here.
Right. That's exactly right.
He's still got, and that's what in recruiting. You got some
huge.
big visitors coming this weekend. You got some big decisions. We could talk about this tomorrow. You got some big decisions coming up, and you got a guy like Lovie Smith that carries that kind of cachet.
Yes.
To where
that's huge.
Tim Beckman would have had to introduce himself.
Right.
Bill Cubitt would have had to introduce himself.
Right. No, right. And that's exactly right. By the way, before we thank all of our guests, which we had 3 today, a minute ago, we've had a gnat in our room. Has it bugged you?
No, I haven't seen it.
It bugged Harry earlier, and it swooped around my face for a while, and we were in the middle of the Kevin Fishbane interview. Backhanded. I just went out of the air, knocked him down, crushed him.
Ninja-like.
It really was.
Hey, thanks to Mark Tupper, Kevin Fishbane, Chris Raby. If you miss any of the show, get our podcast, ESPNCU.com or on iTunes. Thanks to all our interns today. There's too many of you to name.
Yeah, good job.
I already named you. You only get one name drop.
Right.
But also tomorrow, 5 o'clock, major announcement. for the Tay and J Show.
Okay, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it is major. It's going to change the show.
It really is, and we're even gonna.
Feels like people think we're still joking.
I know. Well, it's because you and I are laughing.
It really is.
No, it is. It is amazing. It's been in the plans.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to tune in 5 o'clock tomorrow. Let's get out of here. I got to go coach. No, I'm not coaching. I'm overseeing an open gym. I promise.
Lack of institutional control.
I promise. All right, it's the Tay and J Show.
Summerbration. Summerbration. It's a funny word that combines summer and celebration into one, and it's a key component of the Honda Summerbration sales event. But it's not limited to nor exclusive to it. For example, feel free to say, I'm celebrating my friend's birthday with a picnic in the park, or sweet jacuzzi, let's all suit up and summerate together. So, while we made certain well-qualified buyers can say, I got 0.9% APR at the Honda Summerbration sales event on a 2017 Honda Accord from KBB.com's best value brand. Please, feel free to use Summerbration as you see fit. Liberally. All summer long. There's a Summerbration happening at your Honda dealer. So hurry in today.
Visit your local Central Illinois Honda dealers today.
Based on 2017 Brand Image Awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for information. APR financing offers available for well-qualified buyers. See dealer for financing details.
DP Dough is the original Calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original Calzone company.
I'm Chris Drummond, owner of Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. Since 2006, we've provided the best professional carpet cleaning in the Champaign-Urbana area. At Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning, we use the Rotovac carpet restoration system to assure the best carpet and upholstery cleaning service. For just $99, we offer carpet cleaning for 3 rooms or 4 rooms at $29.95 per room. Google Drummond Carpet Cleaning and see what our customers have been saying, or call for a free estimate at 217-722-3663. Drummond Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. If we didn't clean it, it isn't clean.
Hey, what are you doing on August 25th and 26th?
I don't know. Why?
Well, I'm on the Urbana Sweet Corn Festival website, and I saw some awesome volunteer opportunities.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can volunteer at their corn eating contest, cornhole games, beer tents.
Oh, let me see. These opportunities look awesome. Click on that. What's the entertainment for this year?
The Main Stage lineup covers an array of classic rock, rhythm and blues, and jazz by some awesome local bands.
Wait, Candy Foster's playing? And Love Sign, ESP, Andy Moe, Kings Highway, The Boat Drunks, Tons of Fun Band, and a performance for Elnora, the Guitar Festival at Cranor?
And there's even more stages. The One Community Together, Fulton Roots, and wow, the downtown bars have live music too.
That's 2 days of music we cannot miss.
Oh, look, we can bring the kids too. There's a puzzle hunt by CU Adventures, didgeridoo making, inflatables, and the Motor Buster Car Show.
You can take the kids, but I'm all over that $6 souvenir cup that can be filled at any downtown bar or festival beer stand.
Well, since it's a 2-day festival, I'm sure we can do it all.
Sponsored in part by the Urbana Business Association, City of Urbana, Bud Light, and this station. For more information, visit UrbanaSweetCornFestival.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign, Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.